The woman your lord is protecting. Mu Qian calmly walked in and closed the curtain. She turned to Jiu Yi and said, "Nothing. Let's go." If she let the coachman know that inside the carriage he drives is none other than the Night Prince, Xianyuan Jiu Yi, he will rush out first outside the academy. "Jiu Yi, what are you doing here?" Mu Qian asked casually. "Go home together." His voice was cold. But Mu Jia's residence and the Night Palace are not in the same way. "Go home." Jiu Yi leaned against the window. The initial warm temperature inside the carriage was a lot colder now. Mu Qian decided not to ask him any further. No matter the reason is, she can't throw this guy out. It seems that she can only share this ride with him. The carriage moved. The driver did not find anything suspicious inside the carriage before, so despite the fact that an extremely dangerous person is sitting inside with his lord, he still drove towards the lord residence normally. There was a weird atmosphere inside the carriage, especially on Jiu Ye's side. There is still a long journey before she gets home. Mu Qian simply started to cultivate. With the cultivation on par with the gods given to her by Ah Ting. In just 2 days' time inside the forest, her 5th stage spirit warrior rushed to its peak and was about to break through. The spiritual energy of heaven and earth are madly circulating inside her body. Mu Qian will about to have her breakthrough soon. Jiu Ye's icy blue eyes suddenly opened, looked at Mu Qian's direction, and the coldness in his eyes seems to melt a little. It seems that she listened to him after all. In just less than 10 days, she will break through to another stage again. This speed is very good. But her strength is still too low. So low. So it will be fine if her cultivation can be a little faster. Mu Qian is about to break through to the 6th stage spirit warrior, but at this time, the carriage suddenly stopped. A crisp voice came in. "Mu Qian, get out." Although it's not much of a trouble to get out, but there are a lot of people encircling the carriage, making the driver froze and asked, "Well, if it isn't one of the 10 Purple Moon Kingdom's geniuses who ranked 7th, Yuze, how could you stop the Lord's carriage here? Didn't Lord Mu done more heinous acts than this? I didn't think that this simple act of mine would offend her so much. She offended people with such degree. If we don't settle it here, I will not be reconciled." With the fiasco on the 2nd exam, Mu Qian isn't qualified to carry on onto the 3rd exam. So he came here to settle the account with her for his little brother. At this time, Mu Qian is at the critical stage of breakthrough to the 6th stage, so she had no time to take care of him. But Yuze abruptly stands in the middle of the road, disturbing her cultivation. Jiu Ye's eyes flashed a trace of killing intent. A cold voice burst into the mind of Yuze. "You dare to stop the woman who is under my protection? Get lost." The terrifying aura made Yuze spit out blood. In Yuze's eyes, a trace of terror flashed. He did not think that around Mu Qian there is such a strong person protecting her. The strength of this person seems to be a lot higher than the first genius in the Purple Moon Kingdom. He did not dare to stay, because if he continued to stay he will without doubt die. Yuze instantly left. Everyone did not understand what is going on, and the carriage of Mu Jia's lord already drove away. More power was infused into Mu Qian's meridians. She opened her eyes. The pair of dark eyes shined like a starry night. Finally, the 6th stage of Spirit Warrior. Mu Qian's cultivation speed is an absolute metamorphosis. Because the man beside her is too strong. Her family has a load of secrets. With this strength alone, she still isn't satisfied. She looked at Jiu Yi and said, "Thank you for earlier." She got a feeling that with Yuze's appearance before, and if she was really interrupted on her breakthrough, it will take a lot of effort next time. You don't need to say thank you every time to this prince, and no next time either. Jiu Yi coldly channels. She did not fight back with this dangerous man, and nodded immediately. Okay. The carriage arrived inside the Mu Jia's residence. After getting out of the carriage, she looked back. Jiu Yi has disappeared. The day to take her own designed weapons has arrived. Mu Qian once again used Ah Ting's appearance and had gone to the Flame Dragon Mountain. "Boy, you're finally here." Master Hua's face has a casual smile. Because the fire poison has been removed, his color and temper is a lot better. Mu Qian asked, "My stuff, is it done?" Master Hua said, "Of course I've built it already, but I studied it for a long time but did not know what these things could do." He asked, "Can you really use it as a weapon?" Then he took out a delicate box with a set of different medicine needles inside. Mu Qian then took out her numerous poisons from her storage. She began to soak the needles in it. Mu Qian started to play the poisoned needles in her hands and proposed a duel to Master Hua. Old man Hua, would you like to test these weapons with me? Let us know which is stronger.
Master Hua asked.
Do I need to suppress my strength to the 9th stage warrior, or I can go higher? Even if he suppresses his powers, Mu Qian's fighting experience is higher than any other Spirit King, making her a difficult opponent. She smiled a little. We can add some restrictions too. If you make 9 moves for my attacks, I win, and Old Man Hua can make me another batch of weapons as a reward. What do you think? Mu Qian with her set of strange weapons sounds so confident, letting Master Hua's curiosity to grow more and more. Today, I'll play with you, boy. They went outside with an open SPAC. Mu Qian said, Old Man Hua, are you ready? Master Hua suppressed his strength to 9th stage Spirit Warrior and laughed casually. What else do I need to prepare for dealing with just a kid like you? A needle filled with various poisons with the size of only half of the little finger slipped into the hands of Mu Qian. Her purple figure rushed to Master Hua's direction like a shadow. Master Hua did not dodge. He let Mu Qian to be close. Soon, a poisoned needle came close to him. That's not a sword. Master Hua laughs. With that size of a needle, even silk can't be pierced using it. He swings his robe to block Mu Qian's attack. Mu Qian's hand moved quickly. Suddenly several needles flew straight out, and Master Hua felt there are countless needles flying in all directions towards him. Panic filled his thoughts. A doctor's greatest weapon is needle, for both life and death. Naturally, it is not easy to deal with. The power of his mighty spirit comes out. He promptly blocked the fine needle, coming towards him, then faced her in a close fight. The two have clashed a few more times. There is several times where Master Hua was almost hit by the fine needles. Every needle carries an endless desire to kill. Master Hua couldn't believe that the delicate-looking needles that he made can be a deadly weapon when used by this kid. Fast. Mu Qian seems to increase her speed every moment. The drug needle attacks are getting more and trickier, and even the number of her attacks isn't falling. In order to protect himself from being hurt, he could not suppress his own strength any longer. He let out the strength of Spirit King, successfully blocked Mu Qian's poison needles. Master Hua, you are a bully. A warm voice came. Me, hey guys, thanks for coming here, even though you're all busy, so I'll make this quick. What is your New Year's resolution? Ting, what a lame question, but I want to finish this already, so I'll go first. Ahem. Mine will be to regain my strength, so I can punish that dangerous man. Woody, say meow. Ting, stop mimicking me. Woody, but it's true meow. I also wanted to defeat that villain. Ting, huh. Didn't think that such small cat like you wanted to dream big. Ha ha ha. Woody, what? You don't believe this one can do it? Ting, arg. FQCK. Did you just try to scratch my face? How dare you? Take this. Woody. Ha ha. You can't hit me. Ting. When I catch you, I'll skin you alive. Woody. Let's see if you can try. Mu Qian and me, cough Mu Qian. How about you? Mu Qian. Actually, it's the same with them. Also, I wanted to learn more about alchemy to cure my little uncle's condition. Me. I sincerely hope you succeed. Ting and Woody. Don't touch her / master. The 7th Genius Challenge. Nailin, you came to see Mu Qian, but what he saw first was the fight between her and Master Hua. Even if Master Hua tried to suppress his strength to the 9th stage Spirit Warrior, in the end he still need to let out his true strength due to Mu Qian's dangerous attacks using the mysterious needles as a weapon. He didn't expect that in the days that he had not seen him, he became stronger. Mu Qian stated, although Old Man Hua blocked all my attacks, he still let out his true strength. So naturally, he lost. Suddenly, Master Hua felt stiff. He can't move his body like a stone. Master Hua was shocked. He hastily asked, what's going on? Old Man Hua, don't think that only my poison needles are poisonous. In our battle, my whole body is toxic. You let me easily get close to you, and in that moment you've already lost. Master Hua is astonished. He easily admitted his defeat. I didn't think that your whole body has poisons. I admit my defeat. Hurry and give me the antidote. Mu Qian took out a needle with medicine gently cut it into Master Hua's skin, and he turned back to normal. Master Hua proudly said, I did not think that the little things I built if fell into your hands will become so powerful. The mouth of Mu Qian rises slightly, she agreed. Of course it will be powerful. I was the one who designed it after all. You want me to build a new set weapons, right? Give the details to me now. It's not ready yet. After a few days I will send someone over. Did you forget? You still owe me a high-quality cauldron for alchemy, Although she already thought of some weapons she wanted to have, but she does not have enough time to draw the designs before. Master Hua's eyebrow is raised. A high CLA.S refiner is being manipulated by a kid, and the worst part is he doesn't have any relation with him either. He moved on to this topic and asked Nailin Yu instead. Nailin Yu, what are you doing here? I came to request something to Master Hua, but did not think to see a wonderful showdown instead. Mu Shi, whose strength is only at the 6th stage Spirit Warrior, unexpectedly defeated a 9th stage Spirit Warrior. And not just any normal warrior, but the Master Hua, who's originally a Spirit King. Mu Shi, you are too powerful. Nailin Yu is not stingy with his praise. Master Yun roared. Nailin boy, are you here just to praise this kid here? No matter what you wanted to request today, I will not do it even if you highly pay me. Anyway, since he saw Mu Shi today, he did not push Master Hua about his request anymore. Mu Qian, who lost a few bottles of poison to Master Hua, took out another few bottles of elixirs and tossed it to him. Old man Hua, this is for your body. Although the fire poison has been cured already, you still need to condition your health. Master Hua isn't the kind of person that received such care before. His face is full of smiles as he catches all the bottles. It seems that you are not such a wicked boy, to the point of madness after all. Mu Qian laughed and said, Then, I'll go first. Nailin Yu chased him and said, Mu Shi, shall we go back to the city together? Old man Hua said that he won't do your request, so you'll just back out like that? Go back. Even if he has a sharp tongue, his heart is as soft as a tofu. Mu Qian sincerely advised. I know that Master Hua isn't that bad as the rumors say, but I'm not in a hurry. I'll come back here another time. Nailin Yu and Mu Qian returned to the city, but upon arriving at the city gate, she quickly bid her goodbye to him. Nailin Yu looked at the purple figures back in a daze. This is the 3rd time that they met, but she haven't told him where he lives, and when can he see him again? Mu Qian, upon coming back to her courtyard, received something unexpected. Challenge letter? Yu Zhe's challenge letter, to be exact. A shadow said. Mu Qian played the letter in her hands. In her dark eyes, a trace of cunning look can be seen. His family is also a prominent clan in the Purple Moon Kingdom, and the blood of generals flows in their body. In the Purple Moon Country, their fame is not less than the country's Zhangfu. Their family has the power, the right to have the soldiers, and all members are talented in cultivation, but despite that gift, they're very poor. After all, the salary of a general isn't much, and each one of them is an upright person unlike other people. Plus, they aren't good at doing business, consequential to an annual loss. The general believe that they're doing a great cause, but as a result, it only made their state almost as broke as the commoners. They don't have the privilege to buy an immortality pills like the Ouyang clan or her. But if they did, he won't just be in the 7th rank in the list of the top 10 geniuses in the Purple Moon Kingdom. They are poor, but never did they try to suppress the Mu Jia and hazed her predecessor. But she remembered what she had done to the little master of the Yu clan, Yu Su. As expected, the upright big brother, Yu Zhe, will seek justice eventually. Mu Qian whispered. The little lamb decided to send himself over. This lord will certainly not disappoint him. Mu Qian ordered. Come, get the best arena in Jinwatang for tomorrow afternoon. This lord will accept Yu Zhe's challenge. Also, inform him of these matters too. The steward who heard this command was skeptical. Not only this lord accepted Yu Zhe's challenge, but also wanted to get the best arena in Jinwatang, which is not a small amount. Did you not hear the words of this lord? Mu Qian coldly said. No. I mean, yes, my lord. I'll do as you command. News about Yu Zhe, the 7th genius in the Purple Moon Kingdom, had already spread. His challenge towards Mu Qian was now known to the whole capital. He is also quite surprised that Mu Qianxi did actually accept his challenge as well. He wanted to protect himself from the master that is around Mu Qian, so he ended on making a challenge letter instead. Once Mu Qian accepted his challenge, then that mysterious man can't interfere with their battle. But he didn't expect that she would immediately agree and even get the best arena for their battle that made a stir in the capital. Yusu is shocked to hear this and wanted to explain himself to his big brother quickly. Brother, it's my own arrogance that made me lose to Mu Qian. Why did you? Ouch. Yuzhe flicked his finger on Yusu's forehead and said helplessly, if it wasn't for your miserable state after father beat you when he learned that you've lost on the second exam easily, I wouldn't be so impulsive that day. It's been so much trouble for me these days to even get out of the house. Since this challenge was made by me, I can't turn back now. I will be careful not to hurt her in our match tomorrow. I never intended it to be this way. Jinwatang is most known for their arenas for both martial and spirit warriors who wanted to practice their combat abilities. Today, the best and largest arena is BRIMMING, with people as the most awaited battle will about to start. The most famous waste, Mu Qian, who is also the Mu Jia's lord, versus the seventh genius in the Purple Moon Kingdom and the general's eldest son, Yuzhe. Although almost everyone knew the achievements of Mu Qianxi on the Royal Academy on the last AS assessment, like after her match with Ouyang Xin, he became a waste and how she won with only 3 strikes against Yusu. Even the shocking news where she jumped directly into the higher CLA SS after being the first placer for the 3 exams is unbelievable. Since these are only rumors and hardly any proof was presented to the common people, they concluded that since she has money, all of her achievements were only superficial. Suddenly, a news about Yuzhe's challenge to Mu Qian arose that made all of them came inquisitively. They wanted to see with their own eyes whether the lord who was once a waste, vulgar, and nymphomaniac had changed for the better. Look, Yuzhe has come. At the same time, a blue figure appeared in the contest stage. Yuzhe has a slender body, and because all the time he practices martial arts, his skin is wheat-colored. Eyebrows that is sharp like a knife, a high-nose bridge, well-toned muscles, and profound look really is a feast for the eyes. He stood there with the fort, attitude of an Iron Man. Many women who came to watch the game were attracted by his temperament. How come he's here already while Mu Qian isn't? Don't tell me after making a big ruckus, she won't appear and just played with us. In a private box, Ouyang Wei impatiently shouted, Me, ouch, ouch. Can't you be more gentle? Mu Wushuang. After all that have happened, you only complain now? Me, I didn't think that Wudi would really bite my hand. Mu Qian and I were both girls, so what is their problem with me holding her hands? I can't translate if my hands were like this. Mu Wushuang. Since that is the case, you also have fault. If you didn't provoke them too much, you wouldn't end up with an injured hand. Here, I'm done bandaging your wounds. Me, sheesh, if I know that they're overprotective like that, I wouldn't even dare, you know. Mu Wushuang. I know, just be more careful next time. Me, oh right. Let me ask my question now. Mu Wushuang. You still have the energy to continue? Me, why not? Isn't it fine if you're already here? It saves me time to look for you after all. Mu Wushuang. I'll answer you next time. You need rest. Me, but, Mu Wushuang. No buts. I'll go now, get plenty of rest. Me wooer. Mu Wushuang. Mu Qianxi believes he will be a member of her family. Ouyang Wei came here today, just to see the waste, Mu Qian personally, and to confirm if her temperament has changed greatly like the rumors said, but did not expect to wait so long. The other person has not yet appeared. In a while, a purple figure finally appeared in the eyes of everyone. Gulps. Seeing the woman's face, the crowd took a breath of air. Her beauty can't be described. Even without rouge, she looks better than the countless women in the world. Is it really Mu Qianxi? Everyone thought who is the evil person who put such thick rouge to the Lord's face before? Yuzhe was also stunned. He was born as the eldest son of Yu family. He has also seen countless beautiful women before, but compared to the woman in front of him, it is not worth mentioning. She has delicate facial features and the skin is as beautiful as the white snow of the mountains, sparkling and translucent. Pair of eyes shine like a star in the dark night, let people see will involuntarily immersed in. The beautiful curvature of her lips is like the most gorgeous cherry-colored petals they've seen. The ebony black hair hangs gracefully behind her, like fine brocade, shiny and soft. He had seen Mu Qianxi before, but because he didn't want to poison his eyes, he did not look at her again. But now she can't let him close his eyes. He can't believe that a person can change this big. Yuze only felt that the frequency of his heartbeat is a bit strange. Yueza froze. The crowd was stunned. The Lord is too beautiful. I heard that 7th prince already resigned from their marriage, but he clearly didn't see the real picture why the emperor decided to decree their marriage. If this happened to me, I won't definitely let her go. Where can you find a woman who's stunning and rich like her? I agree. Even if she had a dark past, if I recognized her beauty before, I'll quickly ask for her hand in marriage. All the young men present were barking, and many of the women who looked down on Mu Qian before all have eyes filled with envy and jealousy. How could Mu Qian become so beautiful? Ouyang Wei's fingers were clenched to her flesh, and even the blood flowed out unconsciously. She fiercely said, Mu Qianxi, D-A-M-N, why are you still not dead? This time, the clear voice of Mu Qian woke him up. Yuze, what is the reason for your challenge letter to me? Faced with the cold and indifferent eyes of Mu Qianxi, Yueza is somewhat at a loss. Little Su lost in the second round to you easily and went home to be beaten by the old man. So he stammered and could not finish his sentence completely. Mu Qian saw his funny reaction and defined. In Jin Wutang, if the other party win, he can make a request to the loser. She stared at him and said, What are you going to ask me to do? I just want to... I want you to apologize to little Su. Yuze isn't a person who stutters at all, but only this time. He seems to be a bit sloppy and his mouth was a little short. Every youth has a perfect fairy or G-O-des in their heart, and the image of Mu Qianxi today is in accordance to the G-O-des in Yuze's mind. The appearance is superb, the temperament is N-O-bly, and the style is perfect. However, this is just how she looks on the outside. Later, when Yuze finally see the true face of Mu Qianxi, he will know how naive he was. Mu Qian wasn't a fairy nor a G-O-des, but definitely a ghost. Mu Qian's mouth twitched slightly. She looked at the little brother's direction and asked, Su, guess if I win, what would I ask? How can I know? Mu Qian casually asked. Su, if I win, how about you give me a younger brother for a year? What? Be your younger brother? Yuze was stunned. This seems indeed unfair to you, so I'll change the conditions on your side. If I lose, I will apologize to Su and provide you with immortality elixirs for your cultivation. I will provide it for free. Of course, and if you lost, and be my little brother, this treatment is still there, so what do you think? Mu Qian proudly said. In the past, most of the funds of Mu Jia fell to cultivate some white-eyed wolves, and she felt that they were losing money without purpose. It is better to train Yuze. The foundation of Yuze is very solid and has a good talent. What's more important is that she can make a bond with the Yu clan. If there are many enemies around you, once they have joined hands to deal with the Mu Jia, she's afraid that even if there's money, her family would fall by some lord from the Purple Moon Kingdom and it will be the end of them. Once she succeed on adding the Yu clan as their protective umbrella, then the forces who wanted them dead can't easily get what they want. Regardless of winning or losing, he has taken up a lot of benefits. Yuze once again froze. Their family's money can only support the normal operation of the entire family and is already reaching their limit. There is no extra money to buy elixirs and the like. His own path of cultivation is much slower than his peers' geniuses. But once there is enough spiritual support from immortality elixirs, it will be different. And for the Mu Jia's lord to give this kind of condition, he felt admiration. He believed no other clan would do that. Having a lot more money doesn't affect much because for the cultivation of a genius, the talent is the most necessary thing. OGOD. Yuze, that kid sure is lucky. He actually hit a jackpot there. Some young men with the same age of Yuze were stunned when they heard Mu Qian's condition. I see the Lord is watching Yuze. She wanted to recruit Yuze into the Mu Jia. How can this good thing not fall on my head? Also, in addition, Yuze's ident. Itai is not worse than the seventh prince, and his talent is certainly higher than the seventh prince. Yuze, do you promise? Mu Qian asked. This is simply a pie that falls from the sky, and he believed he can't lose, Yuze added. This is very unfair to you. Don't let the public affect you. Just answer me if you can't promise it. Okay, I promised. After he promised, Yuze saw Mu Qian's eyes flashing a glimmer of color. Suddenly there is a feeling of falling into the deep pit. Mu Qian, she smiled. Since you promised already, let's fight. There is no need to set a contract, because in front of so many people, the person who will back out on his words wouldn't only lose his face, but also the face of their own clan. There is uproar inside Jin Wutong. In the side, a referee stood up and announced, "The battle begins." An arrow was sent out indicating that the battle has begun. He will be careful not to hurt her. Watch out. The blue figure of Yu Zhe moved, and his figure was wrapped in spiritual power that rushed to Mu Qian. The sixth-stage spirit warrior? Yu Zhe isn't 18 yet, but he's so strong. I'm afraid Mu Jia's lord will lose. Against a sixth-stage spirit warrior, how can she win? Everyone argued. In any case, they did not believe that Mu Qian will be more powerful than Yu Zhe. In the face of the attack of Yu Zhe, Mu Qian did not escape, and at the same time broke out the power of the sixth-stage spirit warrior and blocked his attack with her arms. All the people rubbed their eyes, and a person pinched himself and said, "Ouch, it hurts, so I didn't see it wrong." The sixth-stage spirit warrior. The strength of Mu Qian, she is comparable to that of Yu Zhe. There is no mistake. It must be an illusion. I must be having a hallucination right now. Crack. A gorgeous box table was crushed, and a violent wrath came out. That bitch. Mu Qian can actually cultivate, and her strength is in the sixth-stage spirit warrior? Me. Okay, since I'm good now, we can start our next batch of guests. Please welcome Jiu Yi and housekeeper Bai. Bai, good to be here. Jiu Yi. Me. Cough, cough, cough. Better not tell him what happened before, or I'll be dead. Bai. What did you say, miss? Me. No, nothing. Okay, let's start. Say, what is your New Year's resolution this year? Bai. Oh, since you ask, I won't hold myself up. In fact, this year, I plan to help my little master in every possible way. But of course, the most important task will be on helping him on our future princess consort Mu Qian. From helping choosing on his clothes, and even the gifts must be a high CLA. Items. This will show his sincerity and can achieve the best possible outcome. He must clear the other men too. Those dogs surrounding our future mistress will only stain her worldly beauty. Such profanity cannot be made. She is the most suitable person to be with Master Jiuyi. I'm sure body could rival her, and she is the one that God had given to Master Jiuyi. Blah blah blah. Me, okay. So how about you, Jiuyi? Jiuyi, she's too weak. The black-bellied lord, an astonished look was seen on Yu Zhe's face. He said, "It seems I underestimated you." Yu Zhe now is very clear. At this time his opponent is definitely not the same as the rumors said. The lord who was supposed to be a waste was a peerless genius with a higher talent than him. If he does not go all out, he will lose this game. Be careful. With a fierce and steady momentum, a silver pike was thrown, advancing towards Mu Qian's direction. The lightning flash. Yu Su, who was watching the battle, exclaimed, "This Mu Qian, she is strong enough to even force Big Brother to use it. I can't believe she just got back at the academy again." Mu Qian dodged sideways, and a thick blue water dragon broke out, attacking Yu Zhe. Boom. They clashed once again. Yu Zhe and Mu Qian, she are evenly matched. One purple and one blue figure staggered on the stage, making the people who are watching dumbfounded. Great. It's so wonderful. I have seen a lot of genius duels, but this time is definitely the most exciting one I have seen. Mu Jia's lord is now my idol, who created the baseless rumors about her. If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't miss a lot of opportunities to learn about my idol in the past 3 years. The two played around a dozen of times, and their clothes and hair became a bit messy. Mu Qian said, "Yu Zhe, I'll give my best shot." Yu Zhe answered, "You are very strong, no matter what the outcome will be. I will definitely keep my promise. He felt that even if he had 10 of himself, he will still lose. Both of them drained all their spiritual power and broke out their strongest blow. Boom! A loud noise echoed through the arena, shaking the whole place up. Then everyone saw that the figure of Yuze has flown out of the stage, and the small purple figure still stands proudly on the stage, without taking a step back. Suddenly someone shouted, "Win! Mu Qian won." She won against the talent of the seventh genius, Yuze. Wow! In the beginning they thought that even if the strength of Mu Qian had reached the sixth stage spirit warrior like with Yuze, she still won't stand a chance. Yusu also looked surprised and felt like he's still dreaming. Big brother actually lost to Mu Qian. Mu Qian is very strong. Ah, and I also lost to her. Wait, am I being played? Damn. I must go to the old man to settle accounts. Yusu does not care about what happened to his big brother at this time. He clearly felt that he suffered injustice from his father by losing to Mu Qian in the past second exam. Mu Qian went in front of Yuze and said, "You lost. I admit that I lost, and you clearly have not exhausted all your strength even in the end." Yuze truly felt helpless that words can't get out of his mouth. This person in front of him truly is terrible. Then he looked straight at the beautiful girl in front of him and said, "Muji is Lord, give me some time. I will go home immediately and move into Mujia after this." Mu Qian brows knitted slightly. It seems that Yuze misunderstood her. She hastily stopped Yuze, who's walking away. "Yuze, stop. You're mistaken. First, I just want you to be my little brother, not a slave. You are still the young master of your family after all. It is good if you just stay at your home. I will let you know if there is something I need. You don't need to come with me into the Mujia. We both live here in the Purple Moon, so there's no need for you to move out. Second, don't call me Lord. Since you're my little brother now, then call me leader or chief." Calling such a beautiful woman as leader or chief really was a hurdle for him. It is better to call her Lord in the end. Tian, Mu Qian's leader/chief, has the same meaning with a leader of a gang and the like, hence the reason for his reluctance. Yuze's face froze, but she was not going to let him go. Mu Qian stopped smiling and said, "Give a little sincerity. Hurry up and call me leader." Yuze was tangled, hesitated for a while, and finally yelled, "Leader." Their family members has always stayed true to their promise and will never go back on their words. Mu Qian took out a bottle of medicine pellets and gave it to Yuze. "You got hurt. Here, take some medicine to restore it." When Yuze opened the medicine bottle and directly caught its scent, he was shocked silly. This is a second-grade medicine pellet. Second grade. Putting them on the first auction house, he believed that his family wouldn't afford even the bottle holding it. "This, I can't use it. It's too expensive." Mu Qian smiled and said, "As long as you sincerely follow leader, you don't have to worry about having a second-grade medicine pellet. Didn't you know what the Mujia doesn't lack the most?" Yuze almost forgot that the most important thing for Mujia is money. The Mujia's lord is completely different from the rumors. But one thing that hadn't changed is that she's a wastrel. Other people are also staring at the medicinal herbs in the hands of Yuze, rubbing their eyes. Second-grade medicine pellet? Ueza was only slightly injured, but this local tyrant took it out easily for him. Mu Qian's cultivation is high and her ability in combat is definitely top-notched. They really wanted to hold on Mu Qian's thigh, the crowd wished in their hearts. "Lord Mu, do you still lack a little brother? Won't you take one more?" Mu Qian waved her hand to Yuze and said, "Leader is going home. Someone will be looking for you later. Remember not to be absent from work." The purple figure swayed and Mu Qian left Jinwatang. "No good, owner, it's not good." After the battle, Jinwatang's personnel were in a hurry to find the owner of the place. "What's wrong?" asked the owner. Mujia's lord bet for her own victory. She bet 1,000,000 gold taels. "We lost badly this time." Jinwatang's owner suddenly stood up. "Mu Qian actually pressed so much? How much are the odds?" 7-1. Thud. The owner directly fainted. The Mujia's lord is too black. This loss would bankrupt Jinwatang. Mujia's lord spent a lot of money. Exactly 10,000 gold taels was paid to set the Jinwatang's best arena. Coupled with the money that the officials who wanted to watch also have made their bets, he could have made a big profit today. However, he did not expect that those 1,000 people who bet on Yuze wouldn't win, and the worst of all, Mu Qian, who bet 1,000,000 for herself, had won. Jin Wetang needs to give her 7 times the money she bet. Truly a nightmare. He wondered before, how could the Mu clan accumulate so much wealth in such a short period. Now he was sure of it. All members of her family are black-hearted. Won a contest, received a little brother, earned a lot of gold, and injuries aren't that much. The harvest this time is not bad. These days, the entire Purple Moon Kingdom citizens are afraid to treat Mu Qian as a waste like before. If this kind of stunning beauty with a high cultivation and talent is considered as a waste, how can other people compare? Yingwei was so angry that her face was blue. I won't let her off. If she continued to cultivate, her strength will surpass me in half a year. I definitely won't allow that to happen. Yingwei swore. In the past few days, Mu Qian felt very good. She continued to refine medicines and cultivate to become stronger. Her only regret is that there is little news about her little uncle's antidote for his eyes. Lord, the day after tomorrow is the Purple Moon Festival. The Emperor set up a dinner in the palace. The invitation has been sent over. Lord, do you want to go? The Emperor's invitation is the same as an imperial edict. If a clan disobeys, the crime of defying the Emperor will befall them, resulting to the execution of all the members of the clan. However, the situation of Mu Jia is really special. As long as Mu Qian says she doesn't want to go, no matter what, the royal family won't find trouble to her due to Mu Wushuang. Mu Qian ordered, I'll go. It's a feast set up by the Emperor himself. How could this lord turn down such invitation? Mu Qian throws a pokeball. Pokeball caught Yuze's shake. 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 Congratulations, Yuze was caught. Don't you know what the Mu Jia's lord's carriage look like? Dare to stop this lord from entering. Are you all tired of living? The guard said with a forced smile. We aren't stupid. We know what the Mu Jia's lord carriage look like. In fact, we have seen it so many times that the lord's image can't be erased from our memory. She's definitely not you. Seize her. This woman clearly is faking her ident. I tie to enter the palace. She decided not to explain herself anymore. This glittering Mu Jia's carriage can be recognized immediately in the whole Purple Moon Kingdom. One thing is for sure, some people want to embark her before she can enter the palace. Otherwise, even if her appearance changed greatly, if these guards are really the original palace guards, they won't be so haughty like this. In Mu Qian's mouth a sneer was visible. Let's see who is afraid of whom. Shadows. Get these imbeciles for this lord. I will slap each and every one of them. Suddenly, a few black figures appeared like a ghost in the presence of Mu Qian Shi. Trained by this devil incarnate for 10 days, they've used precious elixirs like consuming water, and valuable medicine pellets were eaten every day. They can't wait to show their talents that have greatly increased. Arg. The palace guards were all vulnerable when faced with the shadows. One by one, like a sandbag, these guards were thrown out by the shadows. Strong, too strong. They have long known that a powerful alchemist was left behind to Mu Wushuang, but they didn't expect that these people would become so strong in a short period of time. A high-ranking alchemist, a powerful martial king, and a tough escort team. Who can still stop this family? Cough. With every light hit from the shadow, these palace guards would always vomit blood. The chief of the guards was enraged. Mu Jia's lord, you dare commit murder in front of the palace. This is treason. Mu Qian looked at him with a smile that isn't a smile. Now you recognize this lord? But too late, shadows. Continue to fight. At this moment, many officials and Obli families have already arrived in front of the palace and watched the commotion that is happening in front. Mu Qian's carriage is too dazzling and eye-catching, which immediately recognized by the onlookers. Isn't that Lord Mu's carriage? Why are her guards playing with the palace guards? Oh my god, you're right. There's my idol. Purple Moon Kingdom was founded a few hundred years ago. This is the first time that someone dared to fight with the palace guards in the palace's entrance. In the same time, Another carriage came over and a low-pitched voice came out. What happened here? It's Xinyuan Li Tian. Everyone made way for the prince of the first rank. They stopped talking in fear of angering the son of heaven. Mujia. Xinyuan Li Tian squeezed these two words from his mouth. He was fuming, thus reprimanding her. Mu Qian Shi, this is the palace, not your home. This isn't the place where you can wildly attack people. Another arrogant voice came inside the beautiful carriage. Your Highness, this lord certainly knows that this is the palace. Can't you see my guards being gentle? Otherwise they have been splashed with blood for a long time already. The half-dead palace guards were stunned hearing her words. As they continued to vomit blood, they thought, this is gentle? The crowd was also dumbfounded. They heard that Mu Qian Shi has dissolved their engagement, but they some that it was her way to attract the attention of the prince. After all, she was obsessed with the seventh prince for the past 3 years. However, they did not think that today, Mu Qian dared to speak arrogantly to a member of the royal family. It seems that she really changed completely. All of you, stand up. Xinyuan Li Tian's voice reverberated. He is cautious due to his father emperor's warning about the people who is guiding Mu Qian. But he can't help it. She is in front of the palace but still dares to be arrogant. Sitting next to Xinyuan Li Tian is a woman wearing a light green dress. Her eyebrows are down and a sorrowful look was seen, making her appearance soft, weak, gentle, and kind. She whispered, Your Royal Highness, she has always been so arrogant. You should not be angry. She didn't do it on purpose. But Xinyuan Li Tian is truly mad. His figure flew out of the carriage, condensed all his qi and slammed Mu Qian's carriage. Mu Qian said, Ma Bo, run away quickly. The bitch Li Tian is back. And another white lotus. F-U-C-K them up MQX. Yuze, you've come at the right time. Yuze's mouth is twitching. Because the juniors and his family isn't ready, they arrived later than usual. But he didn't expect that his leader would make a big ruckus in front of the palace gates. Xinyuan Li Tian roared, Yuze, you dare shoot this prince? But Yuze blandly answered, Your Highness, please forgive me, but I only did that to protect leader. This crime is only mine to bear. Xinyuan Li Tian was truly mad from the scene he sees in front of him. The woman's temperament is elegant while the man is tall and handsome. They look at each other eye to eye as if he didn't exist. He cursed in his heart, really a pair of dog and shit Mu Qian Shi. You are really good, huh? After breaking our engagement, you immediately latched to Yuze as a replacement for me. Say, did both of you already had an affair? He stared at them like a mad dog barking nonsense. Yuze was shocked silly by the seventh prince's remarks. The first time he met Mu Qian was on Jinwatang. Since he lost, he has responsibility as the little brother to protect the leader. Nevertheless, he did not think that the imagination of the seventh prince is rich, claiming that he and Mu Qian already have a relationship even before. Mu Qian was amused at Xinyuan Li Tian's words and laughed. Your Highness, don't think that everyone is the same as you. Remember, we are discussing about your debt. Can His Highness not use such powerful gossip to change the topic and just pay the bill? He and Mu Ruyun are the true pair of dog and shit. He dares splash dirty water to her. Is he really tired of living? When Xinyuan Li Tian was about to rebuke again, the sounds of hooves attracted their senses. 300 guards from the palace appeared. The general leading the troop is one of Ouyang Wei's relative, Ouyang Shilong. In his eyes, the intent to kill Mu Qian is evident. His youngest son becomes disabled because of her. With that in mind, he is resolute to make her pay on what she'd done today. Ouyang Shilong went in front of Xinyuan Li Tian and bowed. Greetings, Your Highness. A cold light flashed through Xinyuan Li Tian's eyes. The Mujia's shadows is indeed strong, but she only brought less than 10 people. He has 300 elites in front of him, so he intended to use these people to get back at her. Xinyuan Li Tian ordered, Ouyang Shilong, that woman and Yuze has colluded on a rebellion and harmed me. Seize them immediately. Yes. Soldiers, take them. Ouyang Shilong's mighty voice came out. Yuze whispered to Mu Qian, Leader, you played too much today. I will try my best to stop them, so hurry up and leave. Mu Qian shrugged her shoulders and said, Too much? But he's just a small fry? The guards who are ordered to capture the two people already started walking towards them, but Mu Qian's body flashed and directly flew to Xinyuan Li Tian's direction. Ouyang Shilong was terrified and shouted, Protect the Royal Highness. But Mu Qian's speed is too fast, and his people can't stop her from advancing. Xinyuan Li Tian did not have the time to react and was caught by Mu Qian's arm instead. A sharp and cold needle was already pointed at Xinyuan Li Tian's aorta. All of you stop. Otherwise, this lord's hand will slip and accidentally send his highness to play an HELL. Mu Qian shouted with a touch of evil laughter. The heart of Yuzhe almost stopped beating. Being her little brother, he need to have a strong heart, else he will be scared to death by her bold behaviors one day. The matter at the front gate before became a trivial matter now, but what she's doing at this very moment is much more serious and is considered as a grave crime. Mu Qian, she is insane. The onlookers almost popped their eyes out. OD. She even threatened to take the life of His Royal Highness. What other things in the world she dares not to do? She's a madwoman. The guards brought by Ouyang Shilong encircled Mu Qian and Xinyuan Li Tian. Ouyang Shilong trembled and said, Mu Qian, release His Royal Highness at once, if something bad happens to His Highness. The punishment of execution of the 9 generations will befall on your clan. Mu Ruyan's face is white, she yelled. Lord, you're crazy. Hurry up and release the prince. Even if you're playing, your jokes have gone too far. The future of the whole Mu Jia is at stake here. Mu Qian smiled. Your Royal Highness, we can solve this gently, you know. I just wanted you to pay your debts, since you broke my carriage. Everyone's eyes twitched. What is wrong with her? Mu Qian, she only remembers the money he owed? What a riot. But the cold needle pointing at Xinyuan Li Tian is not joking. It is filled with killing intent. Xinyuan Li Tian gulped and decided to be brave. He said, Hey, let me go and apologize to this prince after. Don't you think you have gone too far? How could you not understand these people? In his surprise, Mu Qian didn't let him go but actually moved her hand instead. The fine needle pierced through his neck. Blood flowed down. Li Tian is really an idiot. Sighs, he's a hostage for God's sake. Not the other way around, so how come he's still arrogant? Is he dumb? Is his head full of air? WDH. The good benefits of being a little brother. Xinyuan Li Tian's face is green, and he felt his heart gone cold. Mu Qian, I have a little pity for you, but why are you so ruthless to me? Do you really have no feelings left for me? Your Royal Highness, I only want to talk about money, and even if this lord reincarnated for 100 times, I will not do such a thing. Xinyuan Li Tian severely coughed out blood more than before. He felt so annoyed upon hearing her answer. I'll compensate for your carriage. 1 million gold taels. I promise to pay it to you directly. I won't turn back on my word. He felt that the shadow of death is only an inch away, and if he didn't agree with Mu Qian, he will surely die today. I only have 100,000 gold taels on me. Get it out, Mu Qian ordered. Xinyuan Li Tian hastily took out the money inside his spatial ring. He took out exactly 100,000 gold taels, and Mu Qian waved. Yuzhe, collect the money. Yuzhe couldn't help but sigh upon getting the 100,000 gold taels. The Mu Jia certainly are the first local tyrant. Her speed of making money is really high. He admits that even if his whole family would work for many years, they won't reach making 100,000 gold taels. Mu Qian glanced at Mu Ruyan and said, Your Royal Highness, 100,000 gold taels is really little, don't you think so? I bet your concubine here can let you borrow some of her money. Mu Ruyan in the past 3 years' money aren't less than the Lord. Mu Qian thought that Mu Ruyan's money is much more than Xinyuan Li Tian based on her reactions. Yuner. Xinyuan Li Tian looked at Mu Ruyan clearly asking for help. Mu Ruyan hated Mu Qian more because of this. How can she be so vicious and unwilling to let her go? Yuner, if you really love me, take out all of your money in your spatial ring. Do you want me to die by this madwoman's hand? Mu Ruyun was afraid to answer for a while. Nowadays, the only one she can rely on is Xinyuan Li Tian. She's frightened that no man aside from him can accept her in the whole Purple Moon Kingdom due to incidents in the past. If Xinyuan Li Tian is really killed by the madwoman she envies, then she will be more helpless against her in the future. Mu Ruyun decided to help him. She took out all her savings, and a total of 200,000 taels are out. Even Xinyuan Li Tian couldn't believe that she has more money than him. However, this gentle and caring woman didn't even bother to tell him beforehand. Xinyuan Li Tian was angry. This feeling of being cheated on made him very upset. More than 200,000 gold taels. Isn't she too rich? Don't you know? Mu Ruyun used to be a follower of Mu Qian. And from what I've heard, Mu Qian has always been generous. Every month she gives them 10,000 or more, so it was definitely ACCU mulat from that. Who knows, maybe she's still got a lot of money she's hiding. When Mu Ruyun was still in the Mu Jia, her welfare is also very good. But this vile woman actually went out as far to seduce the 7th prince. The reason for the prince to cancel his engagement to Mu Qian was also due to her, now that she hooked up with him. It only shows how much of a white-eyed wolf she is. So many gold taels blinded the eyes of the commoners, and Mu Ruyun's hatred doubled. Naturally, she has all heard the news that is about her, and she cannot wait to find a hole to drill into right now. Yu Zhe was also stunned. Leader once said that she has no problems on giving a second-grade medicine pellet in Jinwadang before. Perhaps it really is true. Being the little brother of this local tyrant would bring a lot of benefits. Brother Li Tian. Mu Ruyun cast a pitiful look towards the 7th prince. It seems she wanted him to pacify the words of the people talking bad about her. However, Xinyuan Li Tian coldly glanced at her. He felt that this hypocritical woman is disgusting. Mu Qian took out a piece of paper and brushed a few words in a big stroke. Xinyuan Li Tian still has a total of 700,000 gold taels remaining in his debt. If not paid within 1 month, then plus 100,000 per day. Seeing the words she inscribed in the paper, Xinyuan almost spit out blood once again. Sign it, Mu Qian said. Xinyuan Li Tian bites his lip. Even if he is not reconciled, he must sign it. Mu Qian put away the debt letter, and finally her new carriage has funds. Although Mu Jia is not short on money, it is still a pleasant feeling if someone takes the initiative to bring her a lot of money. Mu Qian let go of His Royal Highness now. Oh, I can't, since I'm sure that these palace guards around me will suddenly make their move. Aren't I right? Don't worry, I'll release His Highness once we reached inside the imperial palace. Mu Qian swore, and then she proceeds inside the palace with Xinyuan Li Tian leading her. Another group of palace guards follows her behind. The life of the 7th prince is at stake, so Ouyang Shilong can't do anything to Mu Qian at this moment. The gate where the dinner is being held was opened. At this time, the invited officials and Bless have already arrived. Even the Emperor of the Purple Moon Kingdom is sitting high on his throne. Even if he is already at the half of his lifetime, you can still see from his facial features that he's still young and active. The golden robe he wears made his look extremely majestic. The officials and their families are dazed. Where are the princes? I haven't seen any of them. One prince who is always absent is quite normal, but it seems that except for the youths from the Ouyang's family, the other teenagers are not here yet. Something is wrong. For a while, the sounds of footsteps were heard, and the juniors of each family went beside their parents to sit at the fastest speed. What happened earlier is too frightening that their little heart can't stand it. They need their father to comfort and appease them. Their facial expressions are a little weird. What happened in the end? At this time, 3 distinct figures appeared in front of their eyes. Mu Qian, she is walking beside the 7th prince. This is not surprising. After all, the former Mu Qian, she was always sticking to Xinyuan Li Tian no matter where he goes. However, the situation right now is now the same. For the reason that Mu Qian has a dangerous sharp thing that is pointed at the prince's neck, and by her side is Yu Zhe, who stood confidently. Outside are the 300 soldiers. Because their status isn't high enough, they are ordered to stay outside the palace. When the emperor saw Mu Qian, in his eyes flash a complex emotion. He then smiled and said, Tianer, Shier, what are you two doing? Mu Qian's hand moved gently, and the big needle pointed at Xinyuan Li Tian was taken away. She then hides it again back in her sleeves. Then she said innocently, "Your Majesty, I am playing with His Highness Li Tian." Cough, cough, cough. But many people present at the scene were stunned by the words of Mu Qian. They keep on coughing. They are speechless and at the same time cannot hide their admiration in their eyes. Xinyuan Li Tian's face is so green. He easily escaped from Mu Qian. He almost died in her hands, but she is here explaining that she's just playing that made him truly mad from the bottom of his heart. Xinyuan Li Tian looked like he's willing to let this go, but Mu Ruyun will never let this opportunity flash by. In order to get her revenge, she painstakingly said, "Lord, how can you deceive His Majesty? Obviously you. The Royal Highness, Xinyuan Jiuyi is here." Mu Ruyun's complaints haven't been voiced out yet, but a sharp voice instantly cut her off. The heck is wrong with the Li Tian's head? Isn't he the one who wanted to Mu Qian to get over her infatuation with him? What's with the 180 degrees degree change? Trying to figure out a way to screw it up. In an instant, the temperature inside the entire palace suddenly dropped. The faces of the people in the audience became pale, and even Xinyuan Li Tian was no exception. Even the Emperor of the Purple Moon Kingdom, after hearing these 8 words, the color on his face has lost its color. He hastily ordered the eunuch beside him, "Hurry up and get ready for the Night Prince." Xinyuan Jiye's position is the closest to Xinyuan Li Ji, and was even better than the Crown Prince. The legend says that in every millennium, a man full of political wisdom would appear. This prince who can conquer the land is also the #1 genius in the whole Purple Moon Kingdom based in cultivation, and always had this unconcerned face. The entire hall was so quiet that the people can hear each other's breath. A black, slender figure stepped into the hall. His arrival felt that it's the night where the demon gods have arrived, like a king strong and domineering. Even the Emperor of the Purple Moon Kingdom, who is already at the martial spirit king, can't be compared to him. His arrival made everyone cautious, and Jiuyi sat elegantly in his seat, saying nothing. Mu Qian was too lazy to care about him, she said. "Yuze, we also need to be seated. The dinner is starting soon." Yuze also returned normal. He then followed Mu Qian on her table. This is the first time he has seen the legendary Night Prince. Even if he does nothing, it gives people fear deep inside their soul. But his aura felt familiar, like he had experienced it before, but he doesn't remember when. Even if Yuze wanted to break his head, he won't ever consider the idea that the world's unfathomable Night Prince is close to his leader Mu Qian, even for a bit. Mu Qian is cursing in her heart. "Jiuyi, this guy is not here simply to attend the banquet." When he came out, all the people were frightened, and the dinner turned gloomy all of a sudden. Lucky for her, she's not here to enjoy the dinner, but to get back what the royal family owes her. Mu Ruyun's complaint was interrupted by the appearance of Jiuyi, and was at loss for a moment. After a while, she finally came back to her senses, ready to continue to talk about the crime of Mu Qian, but was reminded by Xinyuan Li Tian. "Yearner, the auspicious time is approaching. We need to be seated. Follow me." Mu Ruyun was filled with disappointments. He's letting her go easily like that? "But Your Highness," she whispered. Xinyuan Li Tian pinched Mu Ruyun's arm and grabbed her right away. He is squeezing her wrist like what he always has done to Mu Qian before. His heart was full of anger and hatred. Moreover, he was not willing to give up. But the evil star has appeared in today's feast. If he didn't want to bring his father Emperor a big trouble, he must endure. Otherwise, it is even worse for him if his father would be dissatisfied with him. Tears fall from her eyes. The pain almost made Mu Ruyun to pull her hand away. She's also about to explode. If it weren't for the Night Prince's appearance, this would be Mu Qian's unlucky day. With Xinyuan Jiuyi added in the feast, the entire mood was very strange. Even though Xinyuan Jiuyi did not say a word and just continued sitting silently, no person can ignore his aura. It's a nerve-wracking battle. When the auspicious time has come, the Emperor of the Purple Moon Kingdom, Xinyuan Li Ji, declared, "I announce that this year's Purple Moon's annual dinner officially start." Song and dance music, wine and food, one by one was sent out. The whole country was covered with snow, and among the other kingdoms, Purple Moon was considered as the poorest. But as the proverb goes, the body of a starved camel is still bigger than a living horse. Yuze, this pastry tastes good. The royal pastry chef here is quite skilled. Muqian, she took another piece of sweet-scented osmanthus cake. Here, have a taste. Muqian is satisfied on the food, so she eats with ease and decided to not focus on Jiu Ye's arrival. In face of the calm and indifferent Muqian, Yu felt that his current strength is too low compared to the Mu Jia's lord. In order to calm himself down, he might as well try the food made from the palace. After all, the food here can't be compared to what he eats at home. However, when he is about to eat the pastry Mu Qian's had given him, he suddenly felt a terrifying force that wanted to tear his soul and body. Yuze, who sits quietly, felt so frightened. Who wanted to harm me? His hand trembled and the piece of cake had fallen into the ground. At the same time, the killing intent disappeared. The murderous and malicious aura was only directed at him. He didn't know where it came from. The Ashura, who is sitting at the second blessed position, tried to eat what Mu Qian is enjoying at the moment. Not only the Night Prince, who suddenly decided to partake. IP8 on the feast appeared, but also tried to eat what the palace have served, which made the people more stupefied. What happened today? In addition to the palace's royal musicians, singers, and dance performances, some of the minister's sons and daughters have also come to the stage to show talent in front of His Majesty, the Emperor. Burp. Mu Qian let out a satisfied sound from eating too much. Then her eyes fell on the princes and princess who were in the top 10 list of Purple Moon Kingdom's geniuses list. The first one is Xinyuan Juyi. This guy's strength is the highest and the most daunting. To fight with him is a terrible idea. Second one is the Crown Prince, Xinyuan Lishang, who looks bright and talented. Third place is Xinyuan Qingyun, a youth with splendid future prospects and the most low-key prince among the group. The fourth genius also came from the royal family, Xinyuan Li Tian. Fifth place is the 8th princess, Xinyuan Jia. The main candidates on her plan were the Emperor and Xinyuan Li Tian. In fact, she also wanted to get her revenge on the 8th princess, who is also here today. It will surely be fun, but first she must think on how to start. Just when Mu Qian was thinking about who to use as the fuse, a girl suddenly jumped into the platform. Xinyuan Li Ji showed a smile and asked, "Ouyang's little girl, why are you on the stage? Do you also have something to show for Jin?" Ouyang Wei, the eldest daughter of the Ouyang clan, the queen's relative and the 6th placer in the list of 10 geniuses, is undoubtedly a pride of the Purple Moon Kingdom. Ouyang smiled and said, "I am afraid I will let your majesty down. Today, Wei'er has more important things she has to do." Ouyang Wei's eyes turned and fell on Mu Qianxi's body. She said in a loud voice, "I've heard that you defeated one of the 10 geniuses in the kingdom, Yuze. So I want to take this chance to also have a battle with you. We are all at the same age, but due to the reason that you're a lord and had missed the opportunity to prove yourself, this will be the perfect chance to do so, and I'm afraid there would be no next time either." Xinyuan Liji nodded and said, "Jin heard that you've improved a lot. Won't you let Jin see? This will also be a chance for you to acquire some combat skill with the help of Wei'er." Everyone was stunned. They did not think that Ouyang's eldest daughter would challenge Mu Qian to a match today. In Mu Qian's eyes a glimmer of light flashed. She almost made an applaud for Ouyang Wei's move that is really in line with her mind. She just wanted to find a fuse, and was confused on which son of the emperor she would pick. But the heavens' favor is truly with her. In fact, Ouyang Wei is the best candidate. A cold light flashed through her eyes. Ouyang Wei was the mastermind on the former Mu Qianxi's death. In this fight, she will settle all the debts she owes her. Mu Qian lazily opened her mouth and replied, "Your Majesty, but I came here to play. I don't want to fight in this lovely scenery." The body of a starved camel is still bigger than a living horse. Nowadays, there's a lot of talking about China's possible takeover as the largest economic power in the world, as the United States is struggling with a financial crisis. But you can use this proverb to argue that even the American economy is facing with difficulties, it will still be the largest in the foreseeable future. A camel, though dead, is still bigger than a horse where its skeletal frame is concerned. I'm so busy with work for this month, so expect some delays on the releases of chapters. T to the power of T. Mujia's lord is too Imbara. S said. Oyangwei promptly said. Why? Is it because you're afraid to lose? If that's so, don't worry. I won't do my best. Just think of it as a friendly match instead. If Mu Qian was still like before, she would already be making her way to pull Oyangwei's hair due to her mocking words by now, but clearly that's not the case anymore. This lord is too tired to play with you, Mu Qian said while looking at Oyangwei's despicable face. Oyangwei froze. She then turned to look at Xinyuan Liji to ask for his help. She must teach Mu Qian her lesson today. Mu Qian already beat Yu Zhe, which gave her a sense of crisis that if she let Mu Qian off, there will come a time that Mu Qian she would Serpa. S her next. It is necessary to put this possibility else she wouldn't know what's coming after her. Even if she can't kill Mu Qian, she must ensure to make her a cripple just like her uncle. A murderous glint flashed on Ouyang Wei's eyes. Xinyuan Liji got Ouyang's Wei message and smiled. Sheer, you and your father are too different. Why are you so lazy? Little girl, to inspire you, tell me what you want. As long as you win, Zhen will do anything you ask for. The right to have a request to the emperor, although not much, but everyone felt jealous towards Mu Qianxi's favor. But they also know that Mu Qianxi cannot win. Even if Mu Qian have now started to cultivate and can be considered as one of the Purple Moon Kingdom's geniuses, that doesn't mean that she has the chance to win against Ouyang Wei, who's already at the 7th stage Spirit Warrior. Your Majesty, why so stingy? How about you make it 3 and I'll consider it? The people who heard her almost vomited blood. Mu Qian even dared to make a bargain with His Majesty, treating his benevolence similar to a Chinese cabbage. Even the Emperor, Xinyuan Liji, was speechless, but he still hung the amiable smile on his face. 2 at most, Sheer cannot be too naughty. There was glimmer in Mu Qian's eyes. Good, 2 is really good. She stood up and chuckled. All right, Ouyang Wei's challenge. I'll accept. Should we start now? Xinyuan Liji looked at the bright and laid-back girl. He felt a sense of being calculated. How could she win with just a little bit of knowledge? Perhaps I'm thinking too much. Mu Jia, Mu Wushuang, and Mu Qianxi, they really are out of line. By controlling the Purple Moon Kingdom's economic side and added with the fact that they also have the strongest man in the kingdom, these fools completely disregard the emperor in their eyes. Mu Qianxi crippled Ouyang Wei's cousin. Ouyang Xin and humiliated her. OW, beloved prince, Xinyuan Li Tian. This is the day to teach her a lesson. Even if Mu Wushuang got angry, he can blame the Ouyang clan rather than their royal family. Ouyang's lord sighed heavily. Wei'er is still too impulsive. This emperor is ruthless, whether it is a relative of his beloved queen or his humble officials. They are all his chess pieces to move at free will. Once Mu Qianxi had an accident, their Ouyang clan will be His Majesty's scapegoat. They will bear Mu Wushuang's fury alone. The eldest son of the Ouyang's lord said, Father, why are so worried? We have so many soldiers. What can Mu Wushuang do to us by himself alone? Even if he reached the peak of 9th stage martial king, he still has blind eyes and crippled legs. There is nothing to fear. Since it has come to this already, Wei'er should just finish Mu Qianxi completely. Ouyang Ju fiercely said, Leader, are sure it's no problem? Yu Zhe asked while frowning. Ouyang Wei's strength is higher than him and her and is already at the 7th stage Spirit Warrior. The Ouyang clan's power is monstrous, being the eldest daughter of the Lord. She grew without fear and continued to abuse others. She's not easy to deal with. Mu Qian smiled. Rest assured. I've never done anything I can't grasp. Ouyang Wei shouted. Come on and let's fight, Mu Qianxi. Ouyang Wei is so eager to abuse Mu Qianxi to death. The last time, she failed on killing her. Perhaps Mu Qian's luck that day is truly great, but this time she wouldn't make the same mistake. The purple figure leaped and floated down the stage. Xinyuan Liji reminded them, Little girls, don't take it too far as to implicate others' lives. If Mu Qianxi dies in today's battle, The emperor is afraid that Mu Wushuang would do crazy things. Perhaps he would bury the whole Purple Moon Kingdom with her. Therefore, the life of Mu Qian she must be kept. On the stage, two women stand forming a beautiful scenery. The woman in purple dress is full of splendor and unrestrained, while the woman in red dress is also quite a beauty, but her arrogance still remains. One is the youngest lord of the Purple Moon Kingdom, and one is the proud eldest daughter of the queen's paternal family. This battle made everyone excited. All this time, Zhu Ye's eyes had never left Mu Qianxi. Mu Qianxi, I'm going first. Try to block me if you can. Ouyang Wei's eyes looked cold, and in a second after she said those words, her qi burst out. The aura of the 7th stage spirit warrior filled the area. Whoa! Ouyang Wei's speed of cultivation is high. She's one of the geniuses of our kingdom. Of course she's powerful. Everyone sighed. Ouyang Wei's talent in cultivation is really surprising. Ouyang Wei's attack is about to fall on the body of the Mu Qian, but Mu Qian also reacted fast and unhurriedly made her shot. Boom! Two forces clashed together. Then the both of them stepped back. What's going on? Isn't Mu Qianxi only in 6th stage? How can she evenly fight with Ouyang Wei? Maybe Ouyang Wei is playing her? Didn't she said that she won't take this match seriously? That doesn't seem to be the case. Maybe Mu Qian is the one hiding her capabilities. The red woman at the stage heard all their conversations. Ouyang Wei's eyes became colder. She said, I sure did underestimated you. You defeated Yu Zhe, so I'm sure you're no ordinary 6th stage spirit warrior. A long red sword appeared on Ouyang Wei's hand. Like a lightning rushed past to Mu Qian's direction to cut her in half. In order to escape, Mu Qian swiftly moved her body sideways. Crack! Ouyang Wei's attack missed, making the gorgeous stage in the hall split in half. Ouyang Wei laughed. Let's see how long can you dodge. World cut. The fiery red sword, as if to cut the whole world in half, rushed again towards Mu Qian with tremendous power. Don't think only you have a great sword. In Mu Qian's fair hand a sword appeared. A 6th grade spiritual weapon. When the auction was held before, this weapon was included in the list. Clang! Two weapons. T together and a fierce fire burst out. Ouyang made a cold hum. Her weapon has reached its peak. Every strike she released will now produce 3 cuts. When she was about to be proud on her successful attack, suddenly 10 slashes are coming towards her direction. How is this possible? In face of 10 sword slashes, she won't find a place to hide. Boom! After the 2 loud noises, Mu Qian came out unscathed from Ouyang Wei's attack. While Ouyang Wei's state is miserable, her delicate red dress at this time has 6 or 7 holes, revealing her snow-white skin to the public. Mu Qianxi's 6th stage can't compare to Ouyang Wei's 7th stage? This is unbelievable. All the people's eyes are wide open. This fight will truly shame Ouyang bitch. Hope after this, she won't appear for a long time. // Can we win against a contract beast? Xinyuan Li Tian's face is heavy. Mu Qianxi's strength has gone beyond his, and he was also defeated by her once. Though he lost to Mu Qian, the main reason was he underestimated his enemy. He hates to admit it, but once Mu Qian's temperament changed, she became very difficult to deal with. DAM in it all. Ouyang Wei must play her cards right. She can't let Mu Qianxi win today. Even if her appearance looks miserable, Ouyang Wei is still full of arrogance and glared at Mu Qian. Mu Qianxi, don't think you can beat me with just this. You're far below me. Remember that? Ouyang Wei's strength suddenly advanced and soared to the 8th stage spirit warrior. What's going on? Didn't think that Ouyang Wei has a hidden card left. She even has a pill to enhance her skill to a higher stage. 2-stage gap. Even if Mu Qian's a genius, she won't stand a chance against her. No doubt about that. Yu Zhe sprang up from his seat. He nervously looks at Mu Qianxi from afar. The 1-stage gap between their strength can be overcome with talent, but against Ouyang Wei, whose power is at the 8th stage spirit warrior now, that is simply impossible. Mu Qian smiled and said, Ouyang Wei, you're too naive. Do you really think that you can defeat me by ascending to the 8th-stage spirit warrior? Umph. Well, aren't you brave? Mu Qian Shi, your words will send you to Hell. Ouyang Wei's broadsword moved so quickly, forming a full moon. Then a gust of wind went towards Mu Qian, intending to sweep her away. In the face of such a sharp attack, Mu Qian did not bother to avoid it and merely stood there. Mu Qian gently lifted her hand in the air. Water shield. A light water-colored curtain instantly appeared, blocking the vicious blow. Rumble. The ground aside from where Mu Qian is standing had been blown to bits and now is filled with holes. Mu Qian remained unscathed. All the people watching can't believe what they saw. Their ALLS almost fell out. That's the power of a water element. OD. Does that mean that Mu Qian, she is a master of the water element? She's the second genius with an element that appeared in the Purple Moon Kingdom. At the same time, the Crown Prince's eyes fell on Mu Qianshi's body. Xinyuan Lishang is somehow interested with her. Because the first genius who appeared with an element is him, he has the wind element. She had the water element? Ouyang Wei's face turned green. This lowly woman who was once a trash compared to her has now crawled onto her head. Her ability had now SS her, and she simply can't bear any of it. She won't feel at ease unless she kills Mu Qian today. Ouyang Wei had forgotten the Emperor's warning. Her mind is full of intention to kill. Having an element can greatly affect the battle. She learned it in the Snow Country's books and most pract. Itioniers knows its advantage. But Mu Qian, she wanted to win with the 2 stages gap on their strength. Isn't that only wishful thinking? Countless sword cuts were unleashed. Because of Ouyang Wei's envy, the whole people watching are caught in a crazy battle. Mu Qian continued to use her water element to dodge Ouyang Wei's attacks. All of Ouyang Wei's efforts are fruitless. Mu Qian smirked. Is that all? I don't have time to waste with you. Water slash. A blue water dragon run fast towards Ouyang Wei. Roar. No. Ouyang Wei loudly screams. Her body flew into the air. Ah! Her miserable voice made all the people who heard it also feel the pain. Afterwards, Ouyang Wei landed severely between the gaps of the broken platform. Her face is as white as paper. Too strong. Is this the power of a person with an element? This kind of strength is incredible. Mu Qian looked at Ouyang Wei, who was lying on the ground. She watched her wretched state and smirked. Ouyang Wei, you lose. Ouyang Wei is having great difficulty to move. She ground her teeth and shouted. I did not lose. How can I lose? Mu Qian, don't celebrate too early. Red. Get out and tear her up. Ouyang Wei laughed manically. Her grim expression coupled with her blood-stained image is like a devil that climbed out of Hell. Growl. A fiery red tiger suddenly appeared in front of Ouyang Wei. The beast is at least 7 meters long. It occupied the broken platform's half-SPAC. A king mark was seen in its forehead, domineering and breathtaking. Fire tiger, a 3rd-rank beast. The Ouyang clan was able to find a 3rd-rank beast for Ouyang Wei. It seems her father cares for her deeply. Also, from what I've heard, seizing a 3rd-rank beast isn't difficult, but to tame it is another matter entirely. Where did they find a beast tamer? I only know that in this kingdom, there are no beasts tamer with that kind of capability. The Emperor's eyes was focused on the fire tiger. When did Ouyang Wei tamed a 3rd-rank beast? How come he did not know anything about this? He felt danger with how the Ouyang clan worked behind the scenes. The Ouyang Lord has very bad feeling regarding his daughter's abrupt action. This time, if he didn't explain himself immediately to the Emperor, a big misunderstanding would take place. He never imagined that Wei'er would suddenly call out the fire tiger. It looks like Mu Qian, she is stronger than they thought. This is the end. A 3rd-rank beast is equivalent to a martial master, even if Mu Qian is a genius. She has no chance to win. What do you know? Maybe Mu Qian also has a contract beast? Don't talk rubbish. It's impossible. Although Mu Jia is rich, a beast tamer won't work just for money. Besides, we don't have a beast tamer here in the Purple Moon Kingdom. Yuzhe looked at the stage, stood up and bravely said, Your Majesty, this match is unfair to Mu Qian. Please order Ouyang Wei to take her contract beast away. Xianyuan Liji from the beginning completely doesn't want Mu Qian to win. He has no intention to fulfill the two promises either. So in this moment, how can he order Ouyang Wei to put away her contract beast? He said, a contract between beasts can also be considered as a strength of a person. Besides, they made no rules that one can't use her contract beast in this battle, so no violation was made. Yuze clearly saw that the Emperor and the Ouyang clan is colluding in this match. He looked at the unrestrained girl on the stage. She haven't reached the age of 16, yet the two biggest forces in the kingdom already want to destroy her. How hard was her life for the past 3 years? He unexpectedly felt happy and very lucky. His father, albeit strict, was a great teacher, and even if they had no money to buy immortality pills, they have the talent and effort to match those who only bought it. But he never lived in fear, and he did not need to guard against other people scheming. That girl is the one he looks up to, but at the same time, he feels a little sorry for her. He looked at Mu Qian and wanted to tell her to admit defeat. He doesn't want her to get hurt. Seeing the worried eyes of Yuze, Mu Qian gave him a smile to reassure him. I'm fine, the 2 words he saw from her lips. Mu Qian coldly said, Ouyang Wei, do you really believe that only you have a contract beast? Wudi's grand appearance will come next. Done. Find out what happens next on the Evil WANG pampers his ghost Dr. Fei. The little cat is too strong. The whole crowd heard Mu Qian's words. What? Mu Jia's lord also has a contract beast. If she does, then the next match would be exciting. Everyone is antic, IP-ating Mu Qian's next move. Mu Qian said, Wudi, come out. A black and white light flashed, then a white kitten appeared in Mu Qian's arms. Its fur looks shiny and soft like a silk, a little fluffy, and the tail is like a small broom swaying behind its little body. The small, round, and little ears stood up in a playful way, adding to its cuteness. A pair of purple eyes similar to amethyst, glistening brightly. A cute little kitten. It does not even look like it has a fighting power, and its size isn't even enough to fill the gap on the fire tiger's teeth. When Wudi made his appearance, almost everyone in the hall almost rolled off from their seat. Yuze's mouth is twitching. Such a small and adorable beast. How can it fight with a third-rank beast? Ha ha ha. Ouyang Wei proudly laughed. Mu Qian, this is the end. You want to fight with Red with that kitten? Keep struggling till death. Mu Qian looked at Wudi. You've eaten so much beast cores that made you advance to a third-rank beast. Finally, this is the right time to put you to work. Are you sure you can beat it? Although their rank is the same, but she still had doubts due to its little body. If Wudi can't win, she will have to use her trump card. Master, don't underestimate me, meow. I'm invincible. That's merely a third-rank beast. It isn't worthy enough to be my opponent. The kitten swung its tail and said confidently, Well then hurry up and kill that little tiger. How dare you? Let's see, when Red swallowed you too, would you still say he's little? Ouyang Wei glared at Mu Qian. She gave a command. Red, swallow them both for me. Roar. The big fire tiger rushed towards Mu Qian's direction. Everyone could not help needing a cold sweat for Mu Qian. The third-rank beast is hostile. There's no way out for her. Mu Qian didn't even budge, totally confident with the little kitty in front of her. Someone yelled, That's a suicide. In the same time where the fire tiger almost reached the kitten, it disappeared. Where did the cat go? How can it suddenly disappear? What's going on? Could it be that cat turned invisible? The people watching are puzzled. No matter where they look, they can't find the kitten on the stage. Roar. Suddenly, the fire tiger let out a heart-rending sound, then its enormous body fell on the ground. What the hell is going on? Look, the kitty is in the tiger's back. One person pointed to the little white kitten at the top of the fire tiger. OD. How did it get up there? Ouyang Wei's whole face has become distorted. She looked at her contract beast lying on the ground and her mood worsened. Red, what are you doing? Why don't you throw this kitten down? Suddenly someone from the crowd found out something and was shocked. The fire tiger's breathing is weakening. Look at that kitten. At the same time, the kitten suddenly took out a red beast cores with the same size of its body. Crunch, crunch. It gnawed the beast core until nothing is left. They exclaimed, "That is the nucleus of the fire tiger. How did the kitty get it? Wait, such a small thing ate a third-rank beast core. Isn't it afraid of explosion?" Burp. Afterwards, the kitten jumped from the fire tiger's body to Mu Qian's bosom and happily said, "Master, did you see how invincible I am? I solved it with only a paw meow." The people can't believe what happened. What kind of cat is that? Are you sure it's even a cat? In a short moment, the little kitten pounced into the fire tiger's back to kill it. Then it takes out the beast core of the opponent to eat it. Ho how, Mu Qian. Her contract beast is dead. Ouyang Wei's mind is in a mess. Mu Qian smirked. What's wrong? Still want to fight? I give up. Ouyang Wei saw that pair of dark and cold eyes, and somehow lost her confidence. This battle is finally coming to an end. But when the crowd was relieved, a dark dragon-shaped dagger slipped from Ouyang Wei's sleeves and fell on her palm. Her eyes flashed a cold light. Mu Qian, you must die. Unexpectedly, Ouyang Wei is the one who suffered instead. Water charge. Mu Qian had already been prepared. This woman cannot hide her evil heart and wouldn't easily admit defeat. Ouyang Wei didn't reach Mu Qian yet. Suddenly, a magnificent blue water dragon charged towards her. Ouyang Wei's body flew in the air. This is not the end. When the body of Ouyang Wei is about to land, Mu Qian's voice came again. Water charge. Cough. Ouyang Wei in the air spat out a lot of blood, leaving everyone in a panic. The crowd was stunned. Too miserable. Water charge. Boom. Ouyang Wei was thrown up and down in the air. Every hit was higher than the last, making her hair a mess similarly to a female ghost. The people watching are stupefied. Does it have no end? Even if she has water element, with this amount of attack, wouldn't all her chi diminish at this point? How come there is still power left? Are you blind? What do you think she's eating? Second-grade medicine pellet. No wonder she's still active. The crowd almost vomited blood. Mu Jia's lord is truly a tyrant, eating a second-grade medicine pill like a bean, restoring her power then letting out a big attack continuously. Mu Qian lazily glanced at the black dagger, pretending to admit defeat then coat it with an inferior poison to attack her. So silly and naive. Ouyang Wei, who's still in the air, looked like she's about to reach nirvana soon. Ouyang's lord and Ouyang Ju wanted to stop Mu Qian quickly and could not restrain themselves any longer. The Ouyang's lord abruptly stood up. His eyes is popping from rage, and he shouted, Mu Qian, stop before going too far. Else this lord won't let you leave this place alive today. Seize her. Mu Qian's figure flashed, directly went behind the emperor, Xinyuan Li Ji. She said, Your Majesty, this match has your approval. I didn't kill Ouyang Wei, just hurt her a little, but now the Ouyang's lord is bullying me. Stop him for me. My father is not here, so he dares bully me for his daughter. My family can't be bullied easily like this. Your Majesty, save me from this injustice. A bunch of hypocrites, especially the emperor and the Ouyangs. When the former Mu Qian was beaten to death by his daughter, did he stop it? No. The answer is big no. So by all means, he has no right to warn the current Mu Qian. In fact, he must be thankful she didn't finish her daughter off. Karma is a bitch. Settle scores at an opportune moment. Mu Qian is behind him. In the face of so many people, Xinyuan Li Ji cannot leave her alone. He smiled and said, Zhen and your father are like brothers. He once saved Zhen's life. Now that he's currently missing, Zhen decided to act as your parent instead. Naturally, Zhen won't let anyone bully you. Your Majesty, my daughter was badly injured by Mu Qian. She must be punished. Enough. Xinyuan Li Ji coldly said, This is a children's match. Of course there's someone bound to be hurt. You're the Ouyang's lord. You haven't even thought of that? He pious, said an order. Take Wei'er to the chief alchemist. After a day or two, she will recover. Ouyang Lord clenched his fist and kneeled in obeisance. Forgive this, Lord. Your Majesty, I admit to my sin. Mu Qianxi and Ouyang Wei's contest is over, and from now on, no one will dare to underestimate the once waste Mu Jia's lord and her kitten. Ouyang Wei's current state is ABLOODY example. The corner of Mu Qian's mouth slightly turned upward. Ouyang clan, this is only the beginning. The death of the former Mu Jia's lord is not settled completely. This lord will make sure that you'll pay all your debts. Next, she glanced at the emperor, who was sitting at the highest seat, and said, Your Majesty, I'll go back to my seat. The dinner isn't over yet. The emperor nodded. Sheer have worked hard. Go back to your seat. Xinyuan Liji did not mention her reward. Although he was the one who promised it, he never wanted to fulfill those two requests in the first place. When Mu Qian returned to her seat, she saw the already petrified Yu Zhe. Yu Zhe gulped and exclaimed, You're so strong, leader. On their last match, she at least hid half of her strength. He felt Imbara said, when he remembered that he was the one who first sent a challenge letter to her. How stupid he was when he said he'll teach her a lesson. I'm your leader. Of course I won't be beaten easily. That's why you have to work hard and don't fall behind to me. Yu Zhe clenched his fist and firmly said, That's natural. After seeing the thrilling battle, the other people's performances clearly attracted a lot of interest from different persons. Time slowly passed, said, Soon the Purple Moon Festival's dinner is coming to an end. However, there is a good scene that has not yet been staged. Your Majesty, Mu Ruyun really live up to the expectations of Mu Qianxi. After countless battle within her heart, she finally opened up. This is the best way to get her revenge to Mu Qian. She won't just let it pass us off. Mu Qian already beat her by strength. If she continues like this, her future days will be dark. She must get rid of Mu Qian today. Give her a miserable death. Xinyuan Liji asked, Isn't this girl a person from the 7th Prince's palace? Is there something going on? What happened in front of the palace gates, he already knew. But since he can't accuse without evidence, he catches up on what Mu Ruyun is planning. He decided to act with Mu Ruyun to take care of Mu Qian's sins today. Having a unique talent is already a threat to the kingdom. He's afraid that there will be the time that the royal family will be overturned by the Mu Jia. Mu Ruyun's life had fallen when she was brought out to the Mu Jia's residence with Xinyuan Li Tian. Even now, she continues eating vinegar. Your Majesty, when Mu Jia's lord is in front of the palace. And then to His Highness, Xinyuan Li Tian. Xinyuan Liji is enraged. Preposterous. Sheer. How can you act so willfully and make a scene? I'm so disappointed. The person sitting above was the same person who said he will treat her like his daughter. Mu Qian only hurt his son a little, yet he acts like she had provoked his whole royal family and fly into a rage right away. Mu Qian's mouth slowly evoked a sly smile. The Purple Moon's dinner last show will finally about to start. Seeing the calmness on Mu Qian's face, Mu Ruyun pointed to her without any fear and said, Lord, you seriously injured the palace guards, made a mess in front of the palace gates, wounded a member of the royal family, showed your contempt to the emperor. These are all your major sin. Our whole clan will be implicated by you. While saying all of these, Mu Ruyun fell to her knees, whimpering with all of her heart. Mu Qian coldly said, I am Mu Qianxi, the Mu Jia's lord, second only to your Majesty and any member of the royal family. Isn't this what your Majesty had said earlier? But how come when I entered the palace today that not long-eyed guard dared to stop me and wanted to enter my carriage to confirm my identity? It's absurd, right? This lord has been kind enough not to cut them off and feed them to the dogs. This lord isn't the one who despised the whole royal family but the people behind that incident. If you're angry, drag them all out here. The whole crowd was silent. The Mu Jia's lord is truly awesome. Not only she was arrogant in front of the imperial guards, but also has the guts to confront the emperor head-on. And her words are all true. Mu Qian is indeed qualified to punish the guards, and no one can refute it. Your Majesty, we've been framed. Mu Jia's lord is lying. The wounded and disabled guards, ran straight out to complain. Impudent! Your Majesty, if you really want to know whether they're innocent or not, the Purple Moon Kingdom have several torture methods. If used on them, they will naturally tell the truth. Mu Qian coldly said. Sitting in the dragon chair, Xinyuan Liji's eyes flashed a hint of dark light and glanced at the shameless girl in purple dress. The rumors are right. She had changed a lot and acts more like the former Mujia's lord. Young, unrestrained, looks weak, but her mind is unpredictable. Even he cannot see through it. Unshakable like an iron. No mercy with the enemies. Just like how Mu Fengyun was in the past. No need to interrogate these people. This matter is simply clear to him. These guards were already controlled by the Ouyang clan, so they listened to Ouyang Wei's instructions to embark Mu Qian in front of the palace gates. As the trial went on, both the royal family and the Ouyang clan's face fell deeper. Xinyuan Liji ordered, "Come and drag out all the people who have slandered Shir." All the people were stunned. They initially thought that Mu Qian will be subjected to a cruel punishment, but in the end, it was the imperial guards who have fallen to their deaths. Ouyang Ju's face becomes darker than the bottom of the pot. Damn. Why is Mu Qian so difficult to deal with? Is she supposed to get away with all of it so easily like this? Mu Ruyun is about to jump from anger. Then without thinking, she hastily said, "Lord, though you are in Obli and have wounded the royal guards due to their impertinence, but that doesn't erase that you almost killed the seventh prince, the emperor's own flesh and blood." Mu Ruyun haven't finished talking, yet was cut off by Mu Qian's voice. Mu Qian turned her head to the emperor and said in an aggrieved tone, "Your Majesty, this lowly one indeed has injured the Son of Heaven, but why does she only say it was my fault? His Highness attacked my carriage first. Fortunately, I have little strength to escape, else I wouldn't be here right now. I only wish for him to compensate me, so I made him write a letter. Is there something wrong with that?" Next, more dialogues from the bitch couple. The emperor and his son are too shameless. I didn't think that he'd be so reluctant to pay me for the carriage, enough to kill me. I admit I've made some radical actions, but that was because I'm forced to do so. I'm the lord of our clan. I know my standing isn't as high as His Highness, but hurting him a little can't be considered as felony. Xinyuan Li Tian almost coughed out blood. He is a royal prince and this woman seriously injured him. Yet she is here saying that because his status is higher than her, he was the one oppressing her instead. He felt worried on how will his father emperor react. At this moment, Xinyuan Liji really regrets on the promise he made for Mu Fengyun, who suddenly vanished. Mu Fengyun used his elixirs to save his life. Plus his business is thriving. So in order to win him over to his side, he gave him a lot of privileges. As long as he, MF, is in the Purple Moon Kingdom, within 30 years, they will definitely not be the weakest against the strength of the Snow Continent. He loves his children so much that when Mu Qian she was still in the womb of her mother, he announced his grand ambition to make this kingdom the strongest. Once Mu Qian is born, whether male or female, the position of the Lord of the Mujia will be equal to that of the prince. Because of his decree before, even if Mu Qian she made a grave sin on hurting a prince, he can't condemn her on mere suspicion. Xinyuan Liji's face had become green. It's the first time he came to understand what does shooting oneself in the foot means. Though he has the highest status in the Purple Moon Kingdom, he always felt inferior compared to the Mujia's lord. In this kingdom, she can be reckless as she wants as long as she does not take the emperor and his son's lives. He can't even refute her even if wanted to. Mu Qian continued, "Your Majesty, I wasted a lot of time in front of the palace gates, but His Highness only paid me 300,000 gold taels. Your Majesty can pay me on His Highness' behalf. Lest the time be overstepped, else his life will be my right to take." At this time, all the people in this room were completely frozen. Asking payment to the emperor when she's already rich, what blasphemy is this? Some of them are officials, yet they can't come up with that kind of amount in such short notice. Moreover, it's gold. In your eyes, we're all broke, is that it? Everyone's mood is gloomy. Yu Su said in a small voice. "Old man, Isn't the Mujia's lord awesome? Otherwise, how can Big Brother follow her? It's not too bad to be her little brother after all. Pow! Yusu was given a hard spank by his father. You heartless brat. Don't you compare yourself to your big brother. Even if she's rich, she won't take you. You only know how to talk big. I'll bet that she's also dissatisfied with you. With the teary eyes, Yusu said, Old man, you're being biased. The general looked at the girl sitting with his eldest son. He secretly sighed a sigh of relief. Though he had been in a few battlefields, he still cannot see the situation clearly. Mujia's lord, although arrogant, wealthy, and out of control, she still acts like a proper lord, wary from the dangers that lurks on every side. It was too dangerous for his eldest son to be with her. But every member of their family always keep their words. No matter what he says, it wouldn't make a difference. Naturally, there are also benefits. His son can now eat second-grade medicine pellets like beans. If Yuze would continue to cultivate like he has always done before, added with the immortality pills maybe one day, he would be the first person to advance on Spirit Master under 20 years old. Xinyuan Li Tian almost fainted. In front of so many people, she said that he had no money to pay her back. What a disgrace. At this time, even Xinyuan Liji was speechless. He feels that this little girl is getting more difficult to deal with. He glared at his son, who made him lose his composure and said, I will send the 700,000 gold taels to your residence today. Mu Qian chuckled. I still have something to say, Your Majesty. She smiled and said, Since I've won on my match with Ouyang Wei, I remember that the Emperor had promised me 2 things. Can I mention it now? Mu Qian laughed innocently, but they had seen her tough, black heart before. Her requests are absolutely not an easy thing. Xinyuan Liji has a bad feeling. He made his promises in public. If he refused, what would his subjects think? Say it. A deep and low voice came out. 1.5 years ago, my dowry was given to your majesty for safekeeping. Now that the marriage contract is lifted, plus my family's recent financial is in dire straits, I would like your majesty to give me back my whole dowry. She chanted while smiling. She spoke in a calm manner, as if she had simply brought back what had been stored here by her elders. But Xinyuan Liji's face has become very ugly. He then smiled. You and Tianer feelings are true. This marriage isn't lifted and just a joke on my son's part. You are still the future princess consort. Your dowry is worth a lot of money, so it has been placed in the treasury where it is relatively safe. It was a huge amount of money. It was already in his mouth. He isn't willing to spit it all out. Xinyuan Li Tian tightly sealed his lips. He glanced at the woman, standing proud in front of his father emperor. He had a little expectation that she would agree to have their marriage contract put back again. And Mu Ruyun was mad. These 2 people's marriage contract is finally lifted, but the emperor said that it was just a joke. How can she stay silent? She looked at the 7th Prince's Way and found out that he seems to agree on what his father is saying, as if his heart was also moved by Mu Qianxi. Sure enough, the emperor made a commanding look towards Xinyuan Li Tian. Li Tian then stood from his seat and said, It's what Father Emperor has said. I love Shir and also do not want a divorce. Xinyuan Liji gave him a warning. He can only obey. In fact, even if there is no warning coming from his father, Xinyuan Li Tian will still agree. Xinyuan Li Tian turned to Mu Qian and said softly, Shir, although we have some misunderstanding before, but I really want to marry you. Let's forget the past. Start over again? This time I'll make you happy. Jiu Ye's gaze is like an arrow that falls down on Xinyuan Li Tian. He wanted the man to disappear completely from this world. Xinyuan felt his back gone cold and stiff, like he was thrown in the deepest part of Hell. A great sense of terror overwhelms him. Brother Li Tian, you said that you loathe this woman? Ho! How can you say you love her now? Xinyuan Li Tian coldly said, Shut up. Don't make such audacious remarks, lowly woman. See, this is what a SC Yumbag would do. If looks can kill, he would already be dead by now. Poor Jiu Yi eating his vinegar. Ha ha ha. Everyone some that the Mujia's lord will never marry in this life. Only the Ashura sitting at the top has slightly evoked a smile, too little to be seen. Xinyuan Liji can't express what he is feeling exactly, so he eventually changed the topic. Sheer, you really are Feng Yun's daughter. Even your peculiarities are the same. In the eyes of Mu Fengyun, there's only his wife. No matter how many beautiful women he sent to please him in the past, all have been returned to him immediately one by one. He used all sorts of means to send a beautiful woman to him, but except his wife, he completely ignored all the other women. Mu Qian, she smiled and said, I will never choose among the princes. May his majesty please bring out all of my dowry. After this feast, I will take everything home with me. The emperor's face is getting stiff at each passing second. In his heart, he's cursing Xinyuan Li Tian. Such a fortune, he can't just hand it over. It has been a year and a half. Your majesty must have forgotten all about it. Here, I will help you remember. Mu Qian took out a roll of long paper. 999,000 gold taels, 999,000 black jades, 999 immortality elixirs, 999. This is not some ordinary worldly treasures. The people who heard it cannot help but curse inside. Mu Jia is too rich, too extravagant. After finishing reading the long list, once again Mu Qian took out another scroll. Thunder Soul Orchid, Heavenly Lotus, Phoenix Silk. These treasures are as rare as phoenix feathers and unicorn horns. The remaining items she had not read must be more precious than the other. The crowd's eyes are glistening, but when they remembered that these babies are in the emperor's hands, their thoughts instantly vanished. This fortune, it's amazing. Xinyuan Li Tian has finally learned why, despite his strong refusal before, his father emperor insisted to continue this marriage, leaving him no choice but to agree. For this kind of fortune, it doesn't matter whether a prince like him is happy or not. Mu Qian's face has turned slightly red after reading a series of her dowries lists. The air inside the hall became silent and dreadful. All the people on the scene did not dare to utter a sound, carefully sitting on the side. Such great fortune, no matter whose mouth, no one is willing to spit it all out. Even if the man himself is the Purple Moon Kingdom's emperor, he may not be so generous. They quietly watched from the sides. In case a big fight starts, they won't suffer from it. Now, they're racking their brains to come up with an excuse to get out of here immediately. Maybe, the real reason why Mu Qian she is here is to collect debts from His Majesty which may incur the heavens' wrath. Xinyuan Liji clenched his fist, his eyes on the purple figure in front. If he could, he wanted to kill her on the spot. He slowly said, Sheer, do you really have to take all of your dowry back today? Mu Qian, she sonorous voice echoed. Yes, I must have it all back today. My clan is in a financial crisis. Please grant this wish of mine, Your Majesty. If you think that one request isn't enough, how about I use both requests for today? Mu Qian is so aggressive that it almost made the emperor suffer an internal injury, but he isn't willing to do it. No matter what happened, he can't just let it go easily like this. Xinyuan Liji's blood is boiling. Now, it's really impossible to stop halfway. His eyes flashed a cold light. He must directly refuse Mu Qian she today. Granted, Mu Wushuang would lose his mind. He is the only one person whose strength is in the martial king. He believed he can counter it with numbers. In fact, he doesn't have any other choice left. As for the witnesses present, he will warn them not to spread any word from today. Once she get out, he will kill her. He's the emperor. No one could disobey him. Xinyuan Liji's killing intent is getting more obvious. Mu Qian slightly lift up her eyebrow. The emperor's insight is smaller than she imagined. Want to kill her? He can try. When the emperor was about to give his order, a cold voice came. The audience was quiet. All the people inside did not dare to go out. Cliffhanger is real. Who is this person helping RMC? Still far from enough. If the emperor won't keep his words, then there's no need to keep this kingdom existing either. A pleasant yet intimidating voice resounded. The suffocating cold air filled the whole Purple Moon Palace and made them feel that it can destroy everything like evil spirits would. Juyi was like an invisible man that made them almost forgot that he was here from the beginning. Xinyuan Liji's palms were in a cold sweat. How could he forget this evil star is here? D.A.M. in it. But this evil star is helping Mu Qian unexpectedly. No. If Mu Qian really has this evil star support, even if she went directly into the royal treasury and removed all the things from there, he cannot deal with her. This evil star heard all what he have promised. If he came to know that he, Excelsi, would renege on his moment of boredom, this kingdom would cease to exist. No one can guess what's on the mind of this evil star. Zhu Yi and Mu Qian are two unrelated people. These two have never crossed each other's paths. Besides, there is a fact that Zhu Yi is disgusted with a woman. The emperor would never believe that Zhu Yi is helping Mu Qian Shi. If this demon has a relationship with her and she asks for his throne in the future, he can only serve it with both hands. The result was terrible, so he would never think of such a bad idea to be true. Xinyuan Liji composed himself and said, Jean has always honored one's words, therefore. The emperor felt that his heart is in pain, but he have to fulfill his promises, else this Ashura beside him will definitely make this whole place a living hell, and everyone in this room, including him, will turn into cold white bones. Mu Qian sensed his fear. She ridiculed him. Your Majesty, therefore what? During her time in the Royal Academy, she felt all the people inside were afraid of Jiuyi, but did not think that people fears him to this point. Even the emperor is also afraid of him to death. With just his words alone, the emperor's murderous intent vanished in a blink of an eye. What the hell did this guy do to make the emperor fear him like this? Xinyuan Liji explained. This is the case. Last year there has been drought in the northwest. They needed to provide relief to ton of people, but the funds in the state treasury is not enough, therefore the officials went to gather funds here at the royal treasury. The people at the royal treasury are so careless that the money they've allocated came from your dowry instead. In addition, 6 months ago, one of the neighboring countries sent soldiers with armored horses to attack us. Our army funds aren't enough, so to provide sufficient military resources for our men, a little bit was taken from your dowry. Furthermore, last year's winter blizzard. The emperor listed out a long list of events from 1.5 years ago. These are all his excuses for the missing parts of her dowry. A 1.5 years ago, he decreed Mu Qian Shi and Xinyuan Li Tian's marriage, and at the same time, a huge amount of dowry filled the treasury. In addition to these expenditures, there are also gifts to the imperial concubines, princes, and ministers. He even gave the neighboring kingdom's emperor gifts to show off. All of it was from Mu Qian Shi's dowry. The hole he made on her dowry is a little big and generally isn't easy to repair. In Mu Qian's eyes flashed a trace of killing intent. She asked with a cold voice, Then tell me, Your Majesty, how much is left on my dowry? Xinyuan Liji answered in a loud voice, Only half remains. Such a fortune that can shake the heaven, only half left. All the people understood that the military funds and the drought relief funds absolutely didn't amount so much. And the expenditure of those, a large part of it, did not fall into the hands of victims and soldiers. The only one furious at this moment is General Yu, the Grand Marshal of the army. During the war against the Qing kingdom, if the emperor provided the soldiers even 1% of Mu Qian's dowry, they could have superb armors and weapons for the whole infantry. But reality is harsh. Not only their armors are worn out, but also their weapons are all dull. Against the full body armor of the Qing soldiers, his brothers were crushed as easy as lifting a hand. The general truly regrets having this kind of emperor. He, Excelsi, speaks in a fancy manner. General, you couldn't help but sneer and curse him in his heart. Yusu felt his father's expression is a bit strange. He asked, Father, what's wrong with you? Me? Nothing's wrong. Perhaps Zaire choice is the right one. Half? Even if it's only half, I'll take it back first. Good. Xinyuan Liji nodded. If Mu Qian agreed to accept his reasoning easily like this, then he can just put all his worries in the past. It would be bad news to have him fill that vacancy after all. He is hoping in his heart that Mu Qian would not dwell on the missing parts of her dowry. The palace guards carried a lot of treasures inside. The eyes of the people watching are glistening upon taking a peek at the treasures inside, and their hearts are screaming, "I want to rob." Mu Qian waved her hand. "Shadows, Yuzhe, begin counting. Make sure that everything matches with our list." Yes. Every year, the Purple Moon Festival is always celebrated inside the palace. But Mu Qian counted all these treasures in front of His Majesty and other officials. This experience is absolutely unique in the all of the past dinner they've attended. Xinyuan Liji did not dare to show off one bit of grudge, and even the evil star is watching quietly. If any of his actions displeases him, it will be dangerous. The shadows and Yuze's counting speed are fast, and in a while the inventory is finished. She said, "Yuze, read to His Majesty what is missing." Yes. What happened today is too much, and bit by bit, Yuze's heart finally adjusted from Mu Qian's abrupt actions. Xinyuan Liji looked gloomy after hearing what Mu Qian said. He whispered, Yuze, General Yu's eldest son." With the emperor's sudden glare and coercion, Yuze's body was slightly startled. He felt his throat is jammed with something, and somehow he became speechless. He then turned to look at the figure in purple dress, decisively ket his palms using his sharp fingernail. The tingling sensation brought him back to his senses. He can't feel fear. Just like how this girl faces her enemies bravely. No matter how grave the situation is, he has stay calm. He just needs to read a list of items. What is there to fear? Yuze calmly said, "There are still 10 pieces of Luahu GLA. SS Jade, 20,000 pieces of 1,000-year snow lotus." This boy really has the courage. His Majesty's warning didn't work. Xinyuan Liji couldn't hide the fire in his eyes. Mu Qian's lips slightly evoked a smile. She indeed find herself an excellent little brother. After Yuze finished reading the long list, Mu Qian asked, "Your Majesty, after all, today is still a national day. Some you don't have the time to borrow money to complete my dowry, right? Since that is the case, may I know when will His Majesty pay the remaining debts?" Xinyuan Liji's eyes are burning with anger, but Mu Qian, she is still not finished. He has made such a big concession, yet she is still not satisfied? The fact that dowry is the property of Mu Qian, she completely slipped off his mind. She asking back all of it was the right thing to do. "Sorry, got a little late at uploading. I was sick these past few days, but I'm okay now." Shameless emperor I've ever seen or read. Even his generalities having doubts on him. Let's call him the shameless emperor from today. "You will not defile my lake," Mu Qian continued. "I shall soon be 16 years old, and this dowry cannot be dragged on any longer. For His Majesty's hard work of keeping it for me for over a year and a half, I won't put interest on the money you've owed to me. But before I reach adulthood, may His Majesty pay it all." What does His Majesty think? The veins on the emperor's forehead are popping from anger, but still composed himself and said gently, "Sheer, you are only 3 months away from adulthood. I am afraid that in such a short period of time, Jean may not make up the missing parts of your dowry." Admitting this is a very humiliating thing, especially in front of so many people, but he really is speaking the truth. Don't say 3 months. Even if it is 3 years, he also can't pay it all. Even if he is the king of this kingdom, there are things that he still cannot do. Mu Qian comforted him. "Don't worry. I won't give His Majesty a hard time regarding this." Xinyuan Liji froze. From the beginning, she was already being aggressive. When did she become someone easy to talk to? Let's do it like this. I've heard someone speak about a huge medicine field inside the palace. Recently, I've become interested in concocting immortality pills. Your Majesty, how about we make that garden as a collateral for the missing half of my dowry? Mu Qian smiled. The crowd's mouth can't help but twitch. How much knowledge does she have regarding on concocting pills? They never have thought that Mu Qian is interested of being an alchemist. The royal medicine field and half of Mu Qian's dowry indeed don't have much difference in terms of value. In order to finish this quickly, and while the people's minds is still in haze, Xinyuan Liji planned to compromise. Father Emperor. This time, the crown prince opened his mouth. The herbs in the medicine field are too precious. It would be such a waste for this woman to use it, Xinyuan Liji said. Shang'er, don't say anything, since Shi'er made her request. It's only natural to meet her demands. Mu Qian then ordered the shadows to put away the other things back home, turned to Xinyuan Liji and said, Your Majesty, please take me to the medicine field. Mu Qian can't wait to see the imperial medicine field. There must be a whole lot of precious herbs in there. As long as Mu Qian gathers all the herbs inside, she can formulate new elixirs and refine a lot of medicine pellets. Come, take Shi'er inside the medicine field. After Mu Qian left, the emperor let out a sigh. He secretly said, The debt collector is finally gone. Xinyuan Liji waved his one hand and said, Tonight's dinner is over, everyone may leave. Exhale. The crowd can finally relax. The events happened tonight made them scared than hurt. Compared to beating Ouying Wei, Mu Qian was happier when she gets back her dowry. But most of all, her excitement is at the top for the medicinal herbs waiting for her. For Mu Qian, money is nothing compared to medicines. In her past life until now, medicines is her favorite thing. In a while, a higher-rank eunuch brought a jade tablet over to Mu Qian. She then showed the tablet to the guard in front of the gates of medicine field. She said, Yuzhe, go back outside with the eunuch. I won't take long. A large field of medicinal herbs greets Mu Qian. There are at least thousands of different herbs for making elixirs inside. Emperor Xinyuan believed that Mu Qian couldn't take much considering how small her build is, and the fact that she was the only one allowed to go inside the medicine field made him feel more assured. When Mu Qian is gone, the emperor would order to transplant all the precious herbs in another place. When she comes back to take another batch and saw nothing is left, Mu Qian can't say the emperor didn't keep his promise. Naturally, Mu Qian knows what's going on with the emperor's mind. That old fox thinks he's so smart. Let's see what his reaction will be if I took all of the herbs here. Ting, can you open a field for the herbs inside your SPAC? We have to move all of it immediately. Ting screamed, Ugly woman, you will defile my lake again. Don't think I will gladly agree. In Ting's SPAC, in addition to the small pavilion, is an endless lake. The last time Mu Qian smeared the lake, Ting kicked her out. Mu Qian smirked. I want to transplant these elixirs. If you do not agree, I will go straight to Ju Yi and ask him to take you instead. He's so powerful. He should have a way to lift the contract between us. In a flash, Ting felt he was about to faint. Mu Qian Shi, UBASTARD. In spite of everything, you also want to hand me over to that dreadful man? Can you change the way you threaten people? Are you doing it or not? Can I have a third choice? No. Fine. I'll move a piece of land for you. You must cover the whole field of medicinal herbs with your qi, then you can put it in. Ting finally surrendered. He never wanted to fall into the hands of that terrible man. Good. Mu Qian laughed happily. Mu Qian covers the whole field of medicinal herbs with her qi that even a mid-level alchemist can't do. But she does it so easily. In the blink of an eye, the whole field of medicinal herbs, which had gathered together 1,000 GRASS, was left without a single weed. Inside the SPAC of the Chaos Juzhong Pavilion, Ting saw a small island in the clear lake. The spiritual water has increased the growing period of the plants. A day inside the lake is equivalent to a year outside. Mu Qian's eyes shine at this discovery. Although Ting is Mu Qian's contractor, Ting guarded his lake heavily. He sternly said, Dam Nedwoman, I opened up this small SPAC already. You can't do this again next time. If later, his lake was full of herbs and he could not see the water anymore, he thought he would go mad. Mu Qian said, Don't be so greedy. Your lake is so big. Give me a piece of it. Don't push your luck, you ugly woman. Okay. When I walked out from the palace, I will talk to Ju Yi to take you. Even if you're a legendary artifact, I won't keep anything useless. Mu Qian said some distressed words. Damn, Ned woman, you're so cruel. Ah Ting helplessly opened up a wide area in his SPAC. Afterwards, Ah Ting resolutely warned Mu Qian. Ugly woman, until the second layer of the pavilion is sealed. Mark my words, even if I die, I won't let you defile my lake again. Good. Then I'll open the second layer next time. Mu Qian pay no heed to his nonsense. Poor Ah Ting being bullied by Mu Qian. Mad and coughing blood, this emperor is absolutely petty. He even put up a complicated array for this medicine field. I'm sure that old fox is hiding the most precious herbs under that array. Ah Ting said in a nonchalant way. What? Mu Qian froze. She then asked, Can you break it? Sure, but you have to promise me something first. This guy learned how to bargain with her. Mu Qian was quite shocked. What is it? Don't waste my time. Just say it. When the second layer of the pavilion opens, that's only the time where the SPAC here would expand. Until then, promise me that you won't ask me to open up a field for you on the lake again. Didn't I already promise you that? But I don't believe it. How dark your heart is, you think I don't know. Mu Qian slightly twitched. She said, Okay, I promise you. Is that enough? That's pretty much the same. In the end, Ah Ting decided to trust on Mu Qian's promise. In a little while, Mu Qian felt a spiritual force belonging to Ah Ting exudes, followed by a crisp voice. Break! Suddenly there was a smoke in front of Mu Qian, and after the smoke had dispersed, another field of medicine appeared in front of her. This field is a lot smaller than the one that Mu Qian just put away, but the value exceeds the other and 100 times higher. First-grade medicine pellet, second-grade medicine pellet. It seems the Emperor doesn't have third-grade here. You really have to learn to be content. What more do you want from this desolate place? Ah Ting lazily said. Once again, Mu Qian spread out her qi, and the imperial medicine field is now completely empty. Mu Qian came out and laughed. Yuzhe, let's go. Yuzhe went in front of the medicine field's gate to secretly see the situation. But as he was about to look, Mu Qian came out. She just went in for a while. Yuzhe thought Mu Qian didn't take much. Outside the palace's gates, Mu Qian parted ways to Yuzhe. You can go back to your house. Yuzhe froze. He asked, You're going back alone? Today, Mu Qian deliberately exposed the price of her dowry. It is inevitable that someone ill-intentioned would shot her. You must have faith in my family. Mu Qian just laughed. When Mu Qian was away from the palace, she felt the murderous air around her getting denser. Such a fortune is enough to make people feel rich. But do the people here in the Purple Moon Kingdom think they can get it easily from her? Bang, bang, bang. The people hiding in the dark were solved by the group of people in black clothes. These people aren't Mu Qian's shadows, but the Emperor's hidden guards. The money that came from the mouth of the Emperor, no one can grab it. If the Emperor can't get it, then he absolutely won't let others get it either. The Emperor gave it back, but his heart is truly bleeding, and what makes him matter is he can't do anything to Mu Qian Shi. If Mu Qian was killed on her way home, Mu Wushuang would go berserk. He would have the courage to point his blade to the whole royal family. So Mu Qian must go back safely. With the Emperor's protection, who can grab Mu Qian Shi's dowry? Mu Qian got home safely and was about to take a rest. Your Majesty, Lord Mu went home safely. A dark guard quietly came to report. Good. As long as the Mu Jia is still in my Purple Moon Kingdom, even if Mu Qian took my money away from here, it will all go back to my hands someday. Emperor Xinyuan coldly said, Your Majesty, the Crown Prince is asking for an audience. Let him in. The Emperor looked at Xinyuan Lishang. He is most satisfied with this son. Father Emperor, forgive this one's lack of knowledge, but can I ask, why did you let Mu Qian Shi have the imperial medicine field? I really want to know why. Xinyuan Lishang's voice is full of grievances. That medicine field is worth a fortune, Emperor Xinyuan explained. Our royal medicine field has a powerful array hiding the most precious ones inside. Mu Qian can only see the common herbs, therefore Jin didn't have to worry. Jin guarantees, we won't lose much. Your Majesty, not good, not good. This time, the higher-rank eunuch stumbled and dashed inside the room. What's the matter? Emperor Xianyuan had a bad premonition. Your Majesty, Lord Mu has emptied the entire royal medicine field, including the different grades of medicine pellets. What did you say? The emperor completely cannot believe what he heard. His body flashed and rushed out immediately. Xianyuan Lishang was somehow flabbergasted. He remembers that his father emperor's cultivation isn't high and is only at martial master. However, just now, he definitely saw that his father emperor's strength is at the peak of 9th stage martial king. Xianyuan Lishang didn't think that his father emperor would hide his true strength. The emperor who deceived the world for almost a decade suddenly exposed himself. Something big has surely happened. Emperor Xianyuan looked at the medicine field where even a single GRASS can't be seen. How is this possible? How can she break the powerful array? And how did she able to move so many herbs in an instant? Deed a minute. Mu Qianxi, what kind of demon is you? Emperor Xuanyuan's face becomes darker than the bottom of the pot. This Purple Moon Festival is definitely a holiday he won't ever forget. Not only did he lose all the fortune in his pockets, but also lose all the herbs and medicine pellets of the royal family. These medicines are supposed to be his trump card against other kingdoms, but now, cough. Emperor Xianyuan coughed out a mouthful of blood. That damn little vixen, Mu Qian, caused so much damage to his royal family, yet he sent some people to guard her safely to her home. At this moment, Emperor Xianyuan hated the fact that he didn't kill her earlier. I'll kill you. I'll kill all your 9 generations. I will kill all of you. Emperor Xuanyuan's anger skyrocketed. His eyes are red and his face twists up. Cough. Due to the sudden burst of anger, Xianyuan Liji coughed up another mouthful of blood. The emperor felt his eyesight turn dim and his legs were shaking a bit. A sharp voice came. Your Majesty. The voice of the crown prince is trembling as he hurriedly tried to support his father. Thud. Today is the Purple Moon Festival. After many events that stimulated the emperor's emotions and added with how he coughed up blood many times, his body can't take it anymore, and he fainted. In the Mujia's residence, Mu Wushuang faintly raised his head towards the direction of the imperial palace. In his eyes flashed a glimmer of light, peak of the 9th stage martial king. The emperor finally exposed his true strength today. The corner of his mouth evoked a subtle curvature. The emperor is seriously ill. The palace was in chaos. At the same time, there is also a big mess in the Ouyang clan. Although Ouyang Wei's injuries are all healed, another serious illness suddenly broke out. The entire skin in her body began to fester and rot. Even the palace's chief alchemist doesn't have a clue on what is happening either. After 3 days, Mu Qian heard news about the Ouyang clan finding all sorts of medical treatment for their eldest daughter, Ouyang Wei. While Mu Qian took advantage of the large number of medicinal herbs she collected, she had refined a lot of elixirs and medicinal pellets over these days. Mu Qian also tried to improve her knowledge in medicines, to let the little uncle's body to restore the best state as soon as possible. As long as the royal family does not provoke her first, she won't bother to waste her time with them. There is also the Ouyang clan. Mu Qian, she smiled evilly. Come, deliver my message to the Ouyang's lord. Tell him that this lord has a medicinal pellet that can cure any kind of illness. He can use it to Ouyang Wei, but he must show some sincerity first. I feel a little bit of pity for the emperor. He seems to have a high blood. Is there a cure for that sickness in that ancient time? Poor him. But for Ouyang Wei, she definitely deserves everything. More. Suffer more. You can't stand it. This subordinate obeys. After that, the servant went to Ouyang clan to deliver the news. Mu Qian smirked. Her father Mu Fengyun had left an enormous amount of treasures for her, but the medicine pellet that can cure any illness is a lie she just made up. That day, in addition to Ouyang Wei's injuries, Mu Qian secretly poured poison to Ouyang Wei's body. Mu Qian is the one who concocted that poison. Naturally, she has a way to solve it. What? She has a way to save my daughter. When the Ouyang Lord heard the news, he was shocked. In the whole Purple Moon Kingdom, he already tried every way, even in the neighboring kingdom where alchemists are abundant. All the alchemists he called to treat Ouyang Wei's illness is helpless. No matter how much the Ouyang Lord refused to believe, it seems that only the medicine pellet that Mu Qian has is his only chance to save his daughter. He recalled that Mu Qian's father, Mu Fengyun, once created a lot of miracles and left Mu Qian with a lot of treasures. Sincerity, huh? The Ouyang Lord took a deep breath and spat out these two words. In the Purple Moon Festival, Mu Qian was so aggressive. She forced the emperor to return back all her dowry that made the emperor coughed up blood and fall into coma till today. Now Mu Qian is asking for the Ouyang Lord's sincerity, he whispered. Why do I have a bad feeling? Once he agreed on Mu Qian's assistance, the Ouyang Lord felt that several layers of his skin will be peeled off first. Father, don't hesitate. My sister is dying, Ouyang Ji anxiously said. At the same time, the second young master, Ouyang Xiang, is furious. He punched the wall and said, if worst comes to worst, I'll snatch the antidote from the Mu Jia's residence. That dam in Mu Qian has a medicine that can save my sister, but she still doesn't come out. She even dared to ask for our sincerity. Ouyang Ju was angry at Ouyang Xiang's words and reprimanded him. Outrageous. Ubastard. Did you forget that Mu Wushuang is at the Mu Jia? Are you even sure you can come back here alive? At the mention of Mu Wushuang's name, the arrogance of Ouyang Xiang instantly disappeared. Ouyang Ju said heavily, Jier, go to Mu Jia. Invite Mu Qian Shi here in our home. Be sure to bring the Lord here. Ouyang Wei is his only daughter. Moreover, Ouyang Wei's appearance and innate skill is both exceptional. Her prospects are limitless. Their Ouyang clan spent so much effort to train Ouyang Wei. Ouyang Ju can't let her fall before she has a big role to play. Ouyang Ji bows down his head and said, yes, I will certainly bring the Mu Jia's Lord here. Lord, the eldest master has arrived. Mu Qian Shi, who had been very busy for 3 days, was resting when she heard someone report that Ouyang Ji has arrived. She lazily said, oh, I didn't imagine it would be this quick. Let them wait. I'll continue my nap. Yes, my lord. The lord of the house made him wait. Ouyang Ji's face is gloomy. Is this Mu Qian's way of picking a fight, is what he thought. If he could, he would have turned away. But Weier's life is at stake. They still need Mu Qian's medicine to save Ouyang Wei's life. He mustn't go. A whole afternoon has passed, said. Ouyang Ji is the eldest young master of the Ouyang clan. In the Purple Moon Kingdom, no one can neglect him, but now, he was being subjected to such treatment. He was completely angry. How long will Lord Mu continue to let this young master wait? The old housekeeper smiled and said, Ouyang's young master, I already told you that our lord is busy. If you really want to meet our lord, please be patient. Ouyang Ji clenched his fist. He must endure. This time, a blue figure appeared in front of him. Ouyang Ji quickly said, Yuzhe, you've come at the right time. Hurry up and let Mu Qian Shi come to see me. Yuzhe looked at him indifferently and said, Leader is sleeping. There's no way I could disturb her for you. Crash. Ouyang Ji was so angry. He hit the table to pieces. Ouyang Ji grits his teeth and asked once again, What did you say? Mu Qian Shi is sleeping? If Mu Qian is reading a book or cultivating, he can endure. But he learned that Mu Qian is just sleeping. It's unbearable. Mu Jia, is this your so-called hospitality? Ouyang Ji flicked his sleeves and was about to head out but was blocked by Yuzhe instead. Yuzhe coldly said, Ouyang Ji, if you want to go I won't stop you, but at the very least, You must have to compensate for the things you've broken here in the Mujia. If leader finds out, she will be upset. Looking at the table he smashed to pieces, Ouyangji remembered the days Xianyuan Li Tian broke Mu Qian's carriage and have asked for a hefty sum. Ouyangji felt a sharp pain in his stomach. Why didn't I just hold back? Yuzhe asked the old housekeeper. How much is this table? After a few more days with Mu Qian, Yuzhe became more and more like her little brother. The old housekeeper smiled gently and said, It's not expensive. In fact, it's only 100,000 gold taels. Ouyangji's eyes were wide and retorted, What? 100,000 gold taels? You might as well just rob me then. Yuzhe coldly said, Ouyangji, if you won't pay for the damages you've done, I'm afraid you can't leave yet. Me? No. I won't go. I won't leave until I get to see Mu Qian Shi. Ouyangji knows he acted impulsively. If he can't think of a way to please Mu Qian Shi today, his sister would surely be dead by tomorrow. So no matter how angry he was, he must continue to wait until Mu Qian Shi arrived. When the sun went down, a purple figure finally appeared in front of Ouyangji. Ouyangji's voice is low and deep. Muji is Lord. I'm sure you've rested enough. Hurry up and come with me to the Ouyang's residence and treat my younger sister's illness. I've waited patiently for you the whole afternoon. I'm sure you'll see more of our sincerity there. Mu Qian gazed around the room and had taken a glance at the shattered table. She coldly said, Sincerity? Your sincerity is to come to my house to destroy my house property? Ouyangji clenched his fists, unwilling to let go. He said, Man proposes, heaven disposes in his head many times. Lord Mu, as long as you come with me to the Ouyang clan, I promise to pay the 100,000 gold taels for the table I've broken. Our Ouyang clan isn't short on money. Mu Qian made an "humph" sound and said, If you want to pay, pay now. Not 100,000 taels, but 200,000 taels. Ouyangji wanted to run away. 200,000 taels? Don't push your luck too hard. Mu Qian crossed her arms and said, This table was bought more than 10 years ago and is worth 600,000 taels gold. Don't you think it was you who's making this deal low-priced? Yuzhe very admiringly looked at his leader. His behavior before is not enough. Ouyangji's heart is burning with a blazing fire that he almost burned himself to death. Mu Qian, she is worthy enough to make the emperor lose his composure and made someone faint with anger alone. With just a bit of words, Ouyangji can't stand up for himself. He wanted to hurry up, bringing her back into the Ouyang's residence. He took a deep breath and said, Mu Ji is Lord. Whether I pay for this table isn't our priority. You have to go with me to cure my younger sister. You're right. Mu Qian calmly agreed. When Ouyangji heard Mu Qian's confirmation, he felt relieved. As long as she went with him back into his home, Ouyangji will acknowledge the 200,000 gold taels he owes. Ouyangji felt that he would go mad if he would stay in Mu Qian's home any longer. Ouyangji is worthy enough to be called the young master of the Ouyang clan. Even though he's rich and has a cold heart, he would pay any debts he owes to people. No more, no less. Yuzhe, come with me to the Ouyang clan. Mu Qian laughed. Yes, leader. Yuzhe nodded. Ouyang Lord, Ouyang Ju eldest son, Ouyangji second son, Ouyang Xiang eldest daughter, Ouyang Wei. There are still more of them as the novel goes on. Sorry for the late update. My co-workers and I are on official business and I only have short time to continue the translations. Don't worry. After the Chinese New Year, I'll update one chapter per day again. In exchange for you, Mu Qian drew her new carriage's design today and had already sent it to someone to finish it as soon as possible. Naturally, for today's trip, She took a seat inside one of the Ouyang's carriage. In the carriage, Mu Qian leisurely closed her eyes. All the way she remained calm till they arrived inside the Ouyang clan's residence. In addition to Ouyang Ju, a lot of the Ouyang's clan members came to greet Mu Qian. Ouyang Ju raised his face with a smile and said, "For Mu Jia's lord to come here today to cure my daughter's illness, I, Ouyang Ju, can't express my gratitude enough." Ouyang Ju was full of smiles, but in his side, Ouyang Xiang wanted to come forward and beat Mu Qian so much, with a face full of indignation. This woman who's been bullied by them all the time was now greeted by a lot of them, and Ouyang Xiang felt that it was all useless for them to do so in the first place. But when Ouyang Xiang's hostile gaze fall into Yu Zhe's piercing eyes, he could only turn away. Ouyang Xiang knew he can't beat Yu Zhe. Mu Qian's appearance and manner seemed like a sister concerned for her sibling. She said in a gentle tone, "Can I go see the situation of Ouyang Wei first? How is she? I'm not sure if the medicine my father had left me can cure elder sister Wei's illness." Ouyang Ju laughed and said, "Good girl. Please come inside. Come inside." Ouyang Ju guided Mu Qian, she into Ouyang Wei's boudoir. On the bed, Ouyang Wei's appearance can no longer be called a human. Her whole body has become pitch black and 2/3 of her skin is rotting. This time, Ouyang Wei, who's deeply asleep, suddenly let out some words. Her voice was very small, but everyone heard it clearly. "Mu Qian, I'll cut you into pieces." So close to dying yet still cursing Mu Qian, everyone can see how much resentment Ouyang Wei has towards Mu Qian. Ouyang Ju's face is filled with embarrassment and said, "Lord Mu, my daughter is still young, not sensible enough, and somewhat willful. Please pay no heed on what she's saying. Please go ahead and see if you can treat her illness." He repeated these words so that Mu Qian can't hear another cursing from Ouyang Wei's mouth. At the side, Yu Zhe rolled his eyes and thought, "Young? Ouyang Wei will be 18 this year, while leader isn't an adult up till now." Ouyang Ju's face thickness is comparable to a wall. He even dares to say in front of leader that Ouyang Wei is still young. Mu Qian started to check the physical condition of Ouyang Wei and slightly frowned, resulting to Ouyang Ju's heart rate to jump around. "Lord Mu, can your medicine save my daughter?" Ouyang Ju nervously asked. Mu Qian sighed. "Too serious. How did elder sister's situation become so poor like this?" Yu Zhe on the side is not a bit worried. Although he doesn't have a clue on Ouyang Wei's illness, his intuition tells him that Mu Qian is connected with this whole thing. Now, leader even showed such a sad expression. Her acting is simply amazing. Ouyang Ju's face is gloomy but still asked, "In the end, can you save her? Her condition is at worst. Not only do I need my father's medicine pellet, but I also need a special kind of water to eradicate the poisons on her body. These two distinct things' value is high." Afterwards, Mu Qian smiled lightly. "Lord Mu, as long as you can cure my daughter, as long as it's something that the Ouyang clan can do, I promise you one thing without saying anything further." Ouyang Ju firmly said. Mu Qian smiled and said, "The Ouyang lord sure if fond of his kids, not stingy in the least. To see the Ouyang lord doting on his daughter like this sure is enviable. Don't worry, this lord won't ask much. Quick, tell me your request. Wei's illness can't be dragged on." Ouyang Ju hastily said. Mu Qian indifferently said, "Previously, this lord isn't intelligent enough. A few of my family properties, medicine shops, silk fabric shops, restaurants that my father built through painstaking efforts was exchanged with Ouyang Wei's precious objects. I've brought all of these precious objects today to take back what I've already traded. I'm sure the Ouyang lord won't refuse, right?" Bam! Mu Qian waved her hand. Precisely few brightly colored pearls and jades was placed on the floor. Moreover, a large part of these collections are fakes. At that time, Mu Qian was swayed by Mu Ruyun's words. The former Mu Qian doesn't know how much has she been cheated on with Ouyang Wei's deceits. After the two of them stole Mu Qian's possessions, they secretly split the spoils between them. The Mu Jia's lord did not know these things, but after Mu Qian she was reborn to this world. She clearly saw what happened at that time. Ouyang Wei used these cheap items to exchange for many shops that can bring a lot of income to the Ouyang clan. Only a fool can agree to such schemes. Although the value of these businesses is great, Mu Qian is still the one holding on to Ouyang Ju daughter's life. Ouyang Ju nodded. These shops are originally from your family. It's only right to trade it back. We have no opinions as long as Lord Mu can save Weir's life. Ouyang Ju ordered Ouyang Ji. Jier, get the titles of the shops and treasures that Weir exchanged with Lord Mu. After that, take a few titles of our shops for Lord Mu. Ouyang Ji's heart is unwilling that almost made him coughed up blood. Many huge businesses were exchanged for some worn-out goods. He understood that Mu Qian she is truly ruthless. Tian, another shameless one. Get the facts right, dude. That isn't yours to begin with. WDH. The fact that these junk was originally Ouyang Wei's completely left their minds. Only the Ouyang Lord felt refreshed when he gave back the things Mu Qian she owns originally. Mu Qian said, Yuze, you have the lists of the accounts. See if there's less. Yes. The time it takes an incense to burn Paes said. Yuze reported. No less. Ouyang Ju said. Then Lord Mu, since these things are cleared already, can you now treat Weir? Mu Qian laughed at his silly mind and said, Ouyang Lord, why are you so anxious? This lord only mentioned the little trinkets your daughter has exchanged with me. Did you think that your daughter's life is worth only that much? Dam in Mu Qian Shi. Aren't those still enough? What equivalent exchange? The value of those things is as different as heaven and earth. Ouyang Ju cursed Mu Qian she from the bottom of his heart 1,000 times. But the smile on his face continued. Forgive me, but I don't have a clue. What are the other requirements? Let's see. What else you have in the Ouyang clan? Mu Qian touched her chin and said. She then turned to look at Yuze and asked, Yuze, you are more familiar with the affairs in this kingdom than me. Tell me what other valuable things the Ouyang clan has? Ouyang Ju, Ouyang Ji, and Ouyang Xiang are cursing non-stop in their hearts. They have a feeling that Mu Qian will not stop unless she got all of their money out. Didn't she just say it would not be too much? Even the dead can't pay. Mu Qian and Yuze apparently came prepared. Yuze took out a piece of paper and began to read. Leader, apparently the Purple Moon Kingdom's most prosperous shops, which is in the Ziyun Street, all belong to the Ouyang clan. There are several estates outside the city, covering a wide area. And, on the end of the paper, the handsome face of Yuze suddenly flushed red. This, based on Yuze's reaction, you can clearly guess what kind of business is the last. Ha ha ha. Poor Yuze, how embarrassing would it be for him to read it in front of so many people? How to precisely loot a burning house. Mu Qian looked down and said, Isn't these the pleasure house in the Willow Cloud Lane, Dream Lake's flower boats, and names for the long row of brothels? Why are you blushing? Leader, this? Yuze was embarrassed, said for Mu Qian's questions. Mu Qian patted his shoulder and grinned. What's embarrassing? These 3 properties will soon be mine, so you could play to your heart's content. How many beauties do you want? You can even call out the highest courtesan. The handsome and innocent face of Yuze flushed red once again by Mu Qian's remarks. Leader, please don't. Why not? It's necessary for you, since you're already 17 years old. 1 year later, you'll reach adulthood. Even all the male in this room have experienced it, so I don't see the reason why can't you. She added, Don't tell me, General Yu is mistreating you. Mu Qian and Yuze are speaking with each other like no one else is in the room. A long black line appeared on Ouyang Ju's forehead. Cough, cough. Lord Mu, Ouyang Ju didn't promise to give her these properties, but she directly told everyone it would be hers soon. Mu Qian laughed. Uze, continue to read. Uze took out another list, composed himself, and said, There is also the 1,000 gold gambling lane. Behind this are a medicine store where aphrodisiacs are sold. Ouyang clan is very well off, and even more when Mu Qian's father had left. Then, as Ouyang's only compet, Itor getting weaker and weaker, and some of the Mu Jia's properties were taken from Mu Qian, the Ouyang clan continued to flourish. Although the overall properties of the Ouyang clan can't compare to the Mu Jia's, they are still the second wealthiest clan in the Purple Moon Kingdom. Mu Qian waved her hand to stop Yuze from reading and said, Ouyang Lord, I'm not asking for much, but if you give me the ones Yuze has already read, I can save your daughter at once. Mu Qian laughed innocently. Am I right, Yuze? Yuze smiled and said in a clear and loud voice, Leader has always been very kind. Mu Qian is like a lion that uses its full strength even when hunting a rabbit. Lord Mu, these properties are important to sustain our Ouyang clan. If you ask for it all, what would happen to us? Ouyang Ju lowly said, That's your clan's problem. What does it have to do with me? If you agree, I'll save Ouyang Wei. If not, then just wait for Lord Yama to collect her then. Mu Qian winked at Yuze and decided to walk out the room. Ouyang Ju's facial expression suddenly changed. If Mu Qian took those properties, he would lose a lot of money, but if he won't agree, not only would he lose some of his assets, but also her only daughter as well. Eventually, he said, Lord Mu, please wait. I agree. These properties are valuable, but not as important as Weir's life. Ouyang Ji and Ouyang Wei are about to explode. It's painfully obvious to them that Mu Qian she is threatening their father. Ouyang Xiang wanted to teach Mu Qian a lesson but was pulled back by his eldest brother. Ouyang Ji, he said. Little brother, wait. Don't act impulsively. Even if those properties land on Mu Qian's hands, that don't mean that she's good at doing business. We will wait until she can't handle it all and beg us to buy it back. Ouyang Ji said. It's still eldest brother who knows best. All kinds of property deeds were given to Yuze, which made him dazzled. After the handover is completed, Ouyang Ju hastily asked, Lord Mu, now you can cure Weir. Please, she's dying. Mu Qian took out a medicine bottle, she said. This is the elixir to eradicate the poison. Ouyang Lord must feed this down first to Ouyang Wei and will wait for a while to give her the medicine pellet for the wounds that continues to fester. Good. Ouyang Ju took the bottle and hurriedly went to Ouyang Wei's bedside. When Ouyang Ju opened the bottle and let Ouyang Wei drink the medicine, Mu Qian whispered to Yuze, Hurry and cover your nose. Seal your sense of smell. Yuze doesn't know why she wanted him to do it, but since she's the leader, whatever she say is right. Cough, cough, cough.
Black.
The stench that comes from Ouyang Wei's body is becoming more horrible by every seconds. As it fumes, the father and sons who were so close to Ouyang Wei was about to faint from the smell alone. Ouyang Xiang furiously said, Mu Qian Shi, what kind of life-saving water is this? Damn. It's poison, isn't it? Blarg. It stinks so much. After saying that, Ouyang Xiang couldn't stand the stench any longer and began to puke. Yuze has closed his sense of smell. He cannot imagine how stinky it would be after Ouyang Wei drunk the elixir, but seeing how the father and son's expressions, how miserable would it be? Mu Jia's lord. Ouyang Ju's complexion at this moment is as dark as an ink. Lord Mu, better not deceive me, else you will not leave this place alive. Ouyang Ju dropped his entire pretense and ruthlessly said. Mu Qian answered. That's natural. Mu Qian, she would not go here just to tease Ouyang Lord. Otherwise, how could I only bring Yuze and no one else here right now? With just the two of us, how can we leave alive from here? You know this would happen when Weir took the elixir, yet? You cough. Ouyang Ju planned to scold Mu Qian, yet his face distorted from the stench, which made him unable to say anything further. Although he already closed his sense of smell, but as he remembered that rotten stench, he may not eat for a month. Mu Qian smirked. This is the elixir for her poison. The effects is naturally different with others, but this lord guarantees that it would completely eradicate the toxins in Ouyang Wei's body. Ouyang Ju said. Then I'll believe in Lord Mu's words, else I won't allow you to return. Ouyang Ju lifted the elixir and feed the remaining contents to Ouyang Wei. For a moment, Ouyang Wei behaved strangely and can't settle down like a person who is having a seizure. Ah, ah, ah. Ouyang Wei began to shout. Ouyang Ju raised his eyes filled with killing intent to Mu Qian. Mu Qian Shi, how do you explain this? Mu Qian calmly said. This is a normal reaction. The elixir's effects is greater when the one who drinks it shows reaction like this. This means that the success rate of her treatment will be higher. Hold her down so she could take the medicine pellet next. Hurry up and hold down Weier. Ouyang Ju's eyes were red while he anxiously ordered his sons. This second-grade medicine pellet is very precious. I heard that a lot of first-rate immortality elixirs were refined here. This lord is wondering if you can fill my loss with those. Ouyang Ju's blood is boiling. Mu Qian is completely robbing them all right. Ouyang Ju truly has some first-rate elixirs, but how did she also come to know this? At the same time, Ouyang Ji and Ouyang Xiang hated the fact that they are unable to tear off that brilliant smile from Mu Qian's face. More than a dozen of shops were already given to trade with her bottle of elixir and second-grade medicine pellet. Isn't that supposed to be enough? She still has the nerve to extort their Ouyang clan's elixirs, not just the common ones, but the immortality elixirs for the masters of the house. Mu Qian raised her eyebrow and said, What? Ouyang Lord doesn't agree? Then let Ouyang Wei continue to suffer then. Don't you dare put the blame on me when she's dead. It wasn't me who gave up on her treatment, it was you. Hey guys, I'm back. Sorry for the lack of updates, as I've said in the previous chapters. I'm super busy with my work, and that is due to the upcoming new year. I'll resume the daily update after February 5, by the way. The Ouyang siblings are such an idiot. The second-grade medicine pellet has a high price in the auction. If I remember correctly, it's in between 1 to 2 million gold taels or something. So it's only fair for Mu Qian to ask more. Ha ha ha. Screw them, more MQX. Young Yu Zhe has no chast. Tai left to protect. Ouyang Wei continued to move uncontrollably, as if she wanted to break her bones. Ouyang Ju couldn't stand it no more. He said to Mu Qian, Fine, I promise you. He then ordered the servants outside. Come and bring out all of the elixirs here. Seeing the batches of elixirs brought out, Mu Qian's smile is becoming more radiant. Afterwards, Mu Qian took out Dark Pill and went to Ouyang Wei's bedside. She said, Ouyang Lord, this pill is for your daughter. Hold her mouth and feed it to her immediately. Ouyang Ju quickly lifted Ouyang Wei to help her swallow the medicine pellet. Ouyang Wei finally stopped. Ouyang Ju nervously looked at his daughter. At the same time, Ouyang Ji exclaimed, Father, look. Ouyang Wei's rotten flesh is turning into white skin at a visible speed. Ouyang Ju looked surprised. It was truly effective. Not only Mu Fengyun is a legendary figure, but also the medicines he left for Mu Qian seems magical as well. Mu Qian made a clap and said, Ouyang Lord, since the eldest miss is all right, I can go now. But Ouyang Ji stopped her. Wei Wei isn't awake yet. You can't go unless we're sure if she's actually okay. Ugh. In a while, Ouyang Wei woke up. Ouyang Wei looked around and saw familiar faces. She shouted, Father, eldest brother, second brother, it's you. Mu Qian Shi. Ouyang Wei's mind is in chaos. Like a frightened rabbit, she curled up her body upon seeing Mu Qian. She remembers how miserable her state was after her fight with Mu Qian Shi. Mu Qian said, If the Ouyang Lord is still worried, you can call a pharmacist to check her body. A pharmacist from the Ouyang's residence came to check on Ouyang Wei and informed the Ouyang Ju that the eldest Miss body is very healthy and nothing is wrong anymore. Mu Qian's medicines are amazing. Ouyang Ju's expression was strange, he said. Lord Mu must also be tired today. Don't go and stay as our guest here for the whole night. You can leave tomorrow morning instead. Ouyang Ju doesn't want Mu Qian to leave with all his stuffs. Since Wei'er is all right, he must find a way to get it all back. Mu Qian smiled. It's getting late. My little uncle said that if I hadn't got home by midnight, he would come over to the Ouyang's residence to fetch me. My little uncle has limited mobility. It's quite troublesome for the both of us, so I will just go home. Ouyang Ju's face is heavy. Mu Qian deliberately making a threat. Does Mu Qian really think that Mu Wushuang, who is at the peak of 9th stage Martial King, has nothing to fear? Did she forget that there are still people outside the kingdom who can topple mountains and overturn seas? This time, Yuzhe also said, Ouyang Lord, Yuzhe too has to go home now. If I come home a bit later than this, I'm afraid my old man would gather his 3,000 troops to pay a visit on the Ouyang's residence. Ouyang Ju can feel the veins in his forehead are bulging. How can he forget this young man? Yuzhe is the eldest son of General Yu. He is also the little brother of Mu Qian, and apparently he is so obedient to follow her every orders. The Yu clan has the direct control of an army, and all of them fought valiantly in wars. If those soldiers raided the Ouyang's residence, the Ouyang clan would be the one to suffer the most. Ouyang Ju gave a far-fetched laughter. You both have to go then, I guess. Although Ouyang Ju is not reconciled and his heart is bleeding, he can't keep them here nor get back his losses. Even if he has other ways to block Mu Wushuang, but against 3,000 troops, Ouyang Ju is afraid that his clan would be destroyed and will be miserable in the end. Ouyang Lord must take good care of your daughter first. No need to escort us out. We both know the way back. Mu Qian waved her hand and went away with Yuzhe. Mu Qian and Yuzhe walked out of the Ouyang's residence. Suddenly a hearty laugh came out. Yuzhe, your leader sure earned a lot today. When the moment comes, I will definitely reward you with the best drinks and foods. I'll even let you choose a courtesan for yourself. What do you prefer? A slender beauty, or perhaps you want the beauty with a huge rack? Haha, leader, please stop. Yuzhe helplessly shouted. Then we'll go eat to our heart's content today. Go pick the foods you want to eat. And Ouyang Ju and other people are still standing outside, and Mu Qian's words still set into their ears even though she is far away. The father and sons, these three people cursed Mu Qian, in their hearts. Mu Qian, this is not the end. Don't get excited too soon. On the way home, Mu Qian asked, Yuzhe, may I ask you one thing? I know the Yu clan is known for their loyalty and righteousness. I'm positive that without you and General Yu's army, Ouyang Ju wouldn't let us out easily like this. I feel like I've involved you with my disputes too much. She stopped walking and said, Yuzhe, do you regret following me? Yuzhe's gaze turned away from Mu Qian. As he looked at the moon, he said, We always keep our promises, since that is our Yu clan's oath. No matter how dangerous, I will continue to follow you. He looked straight at Mu Qian's eyes. Besides, leader, you are so strong and the bad luck is always against you. Yuzhe evoked a carefree smile. Mu Qian laughed. You are really getting more and more adorable. Don't go back to your house today. Come home with me. Let's go do something fun. Yuzhe silently said in his heart. Leader, just say what you want to do. Please don't let people misunderstand, okay? But Mu Qian is staying quiet and had no plan to tell Yuzhe anything more. Meanwhile, Yu Su rushed to the general's study. He said, Father, old man. Not good. Not good. Big Brother did not come home last night. It seems that Big Brother's chast. Itai is lost. Thud. General, you dropped the book he's holding. What are you talking about? Brother, General, you knocked Yu Su's head. You don't know what you're thinking about. You only know how to make a mess every day. Don't tell me you've forgotten what did Lord Mu said on the palace? Her criteria for a husband. Yu Su bowed his head. Ouch. That hurts. I remember all right. First, there can be no other woman. I grew up with Big Brother and I know that he never touched a woman's hand. Second, He must be stronger than her. Brother already lost to Lord Mu. So doesn't meet the requirements to be her husband. Yusu felt disappointed as he said this. Mu Jia's lord is great. She's beautiful, rich, and powerful as well. If someone like her would be his sister-in-law, it would be awesome. Since you know, then get out of here now. Yusu ran outside quickly to escape. General Yu helplessly heaved a sigh. When Yuzhe and Mu Qian she went to the Ouyang's residence, General Yu already ordered some of his soldiers to wait outside. If only Yuzhe agreed to be a soldier before, he wouldn't be involved in all of these complicated things. He grew up in an old-fashioned way, and now his future is getting shorter and narrower. Yuzhe, my son, I hope you won't get caught up in it. Mu Qian, she is the daughter of a dragon among men. Like him, she is bound with the fate of a phoenix. My stupid son, I'm afraid. Descendants are descendants. General, you didn't think too much. If what his younger son said is true, then that will really bring delight and satisfaction to the Yu family. Groan. Wait. Ugh. A burst of fled voices was heard inside one of the rooms in the Mu Jia's lord's courtyard, letting the servants' imagination roam and their faces flushed. At long last, the lord has chosen a partner, and perhaps they will soon have a little master to serve. Wow. As in wo. Degree. I need Juye's reaction on this bwahahaha. Juye's intent to kill. The truth is like this. Upon coming back with Mu Qian, she immediately started to spar with Yuzhe. Afterwards, Yuzhe's body that is filled with bruises was thrown into Mu Qian's newly made medicinal bath. The pain he felt made him scream throughout the night. Later, a rumor about Mu Jia's lord appeared. Mu Qian, she has a tendency to abuse people. These people can't help but feel a cold sweat for the Yu clan's eldest son. Yuzhe's life with Mu Qian, she will not be so easy. The next day, Mu Qian asked, Yuzhe, did you sleep well last night? At this time, Yuzhe has dark circles under his eyes. He felt that the meridians in his body are 3 to 4 times better than before. And the most shocking thing was he advanced to the peak of 6th stage of Spirit Warrior in just one night. I'm alright, fortunately. He could barely finish his sentence. It's already a miracle that Yuzhe made it throughout the night. Even though the result is good, the pain he felt that evening was definitely not the kind of thing you wanted to experience the second time again. Leader, look, I've made it to the peak of the 6th stage Spirit Warrior. I can break through to the 7th stage in the near future. But you can do that now? Yuzhe could not believe what he just heard. Even if Yuzhe is highly talented, in order to break through, he must at least continue to practice for half a year. But the boss actually said he can break through now. Here, I have 2 medicines on me. Take your pick. Mu Qian took out 2 bottles of elixirs. These are? This bottle on my left has 2nd-grade medicinal pellet, while the other one has an elixir that has the same effect with a 3rd-grade medicinal pellet. Both can help you break through without any repercussions. Yuzhe is stunned. 2nd-grade medicinal pellet? Elixir that can be sold with the same amount of a city? Mu Qian actually took out both of it, and even let him pick in between so casually like this? Mu Qian said, Take your time on choosing. I'll go first. Mu Qian took out another bottle and gulped down its contents immediately. The spiritual energy of heaven and earth suddenly came rushing inside Mu Qian's body. Yuzhe was amazed by the effects of the medicines she brought. Yuzhe picked up the 2nd-grade medicinal pellet and swallowed it. Suddenly, a majestic force filled his meridians. He sensed that he was about to break through to the 7th stage this instant. The bones on his body is creaking. Yuzhe felt his strength has reached its peak. There was a glimmer of light in his dark eyes. The 7th stage, Spirit Warrior. He never thought that he can break through a level this quick. Mu Qian opened her eyes. She also advanced through the 7th stage, Spirit Warrior, with so much ease. We have successfully advanced to the 7th stage. You should go home, Yuzhe, lest your family worry about you. Take this with you. These are all elixirs that can speed up your cultivation. Treat it like food. If you can't finish everything, you can give it away. While this is for healing, Mu Qian took out a bunch of elixirs and medicinal herbs to Yuzhe. Because of him, they are able to return without being hurt from the Ouyang's residence. He played a big role, so Mu Qian will not treat him badly. Yuzhe's eyes are big, he exclaimed. So much. Leader, this is too much. I can't accept all of these. Aren't these all expensive? Mu Qian rolled her eyes and said helplessly, It's not expensive. Did you forget the herbs that I've taken from the Imperial Palace and the Ouyang clan? Don't talk so much nonsense. Yuzhe, who learned that Mu Qian can really refine medicines, almost fainted from this heavy blow. If she can really refine a second-grade medicinal pellet, then she is already a mid-level alchemist. Is she still a human? Yuzhe, with cuts and bruises all over, left with a large heap of elixirs and medicinal pellets. When Yuzhe was gone, a gentle voice came over. Sheer. Mu Qian hastily went to Mu Wushuang's side and said, Little uncle, the early morning is cold and strong. How come you are here? With Sheer's conditioning, my body has long been healthier than normal people. Where is the kid from the Yu clan? I've heard from someone that he will take you away. Mu Wushuang's tone has a hint of resentment. He waited a long time for Mu Qian to return. If some kid abducted Mu Qian, she, not only he, but also his eldest brother and second brother, would kill everyone in this kingdom. Mu Qian's mouth cannot help but twitch, she explained. Little uncle, don't listen to those baseless rumors. Yuzhe is my little brother. Mujia's force is thin, and in order to enhance our strength, we need to borrow the strength of their family's army. Uncle understands. Mu Wushuang let out a gentle smile. Mu Wushuang held her hands and said, Sheer, don't overwork yourself. You still have me after all. Mu Qian shook her head and her heart felt warm. She smiled and said, Little uncle, don't worry. I just cleared all of their accounts from us. Mu Qian's dark eyes flashed a cold light. Besides, I only taught them some lessons. Those people who offended us will eventually get what they deserved. Mu Wushuang smiled. Sheer, do what you want to do. I'm here. I won't let anyone touch even a strand of your hair. After Mu Wushuang left, another guest ushered inside Mu Qian's room. The entire courtyard turned cold all of a sudden. Mu Qian opened the door and saw a familiar figure sitting in her chair. A peerless face, with 5 points of cold, 3 points of evil, and 2 points of beauty. That pair of icy blue eyes are like a deep abyss, as if a human soul would be swallowed immediately. High nose and thin red lips. This person that is clear as ice and clean as jade can also frighten someone out of their wits, just like a cold Ashura and a demon lord would. Juyi, what are you doing here? His arrival really made Mu Qian feel very surprised. The Purple Moon Kingdom's evil star is really elusive. Juyez looked straight at Mu Qian's eyes. He said coldly, Yuzhe, I want to kill him. What do you think? With Juyez's killing intent, the temperature inside the room became lower. Mu Qian froze. She said, Yuzhe is my little brother. If he offended you in any way, please spare his life. I know we can settle this peacefully. To kill a man without a fight is not what a gentleman like you would do. Mu Qian said all of this with a smile on her face. Mu Qian plans to bluff a way out for Yuzhe. To those people who died by Juyez's hand, if they heard the words gentle person used for describing Juyi, they will surely vomit blood even in the afterlife. The woman in front of him is not giving in, and one thing is for sure. He is absolutely not allowed to kill the man. Juyi coldly said, He stayed here last night? And that's how Juyi handles his jealousy. By killing each and one of them. Too bad he can't do it, cause of MQX. Ha ha ha. Fluffy scenes will come after this chapter, Redheart. His touch feels nice. Mu Qian's mouth is twitching. She cursed Juyi inside. Juyi, are you out of your mind? Just because Yuzhe slept here last night, you're going to kill him. Fortunately, Yuzhe already left, else he wouldn't know how horrible his death will be today. If I remember correctly, you and him don't have any connection with each other. So why do you want to kill him? Mu Qian is bewildered by Juyez's abrupt ideas. She finally understands why the citizens of the Purple Moon Kingdom are so afraid of the Night Prince. It isn't because of how he kills someone without batting an eye, but because the reason he kills someone is totally unpredictable. Perhaps it's a common thing, that when the Night Prince looked at someone he would kill him immediately. He's so strong. If Juyi wanted to kill somebody, no one could stop him, and in the end they can only cry out their grievances in the underworld. Juyi, who was silent for a while, slowly spoke. "You're my roommate. That is just at the academy. This is my home. Mu Qian is going to blow up. What strange reason he has. This gentleman only wants him to die. That's all," Juyi coldly said. Mu Qian felt that there was an obstacle when she tries to communicate with His Highness, the Night Prince, and since that is the case, she would gladly break it. "Just tell me directly, how can I make you change this blood why thought of yours?" Mu Qian asked politely. "Go to my place and live there." Juyi did not leave Mu Qian any choice. Mu Qian didn't have a chance to answer. Her body fell straight into a cold embrace. Then the whole person had floated to the air and instantly disappeared. He didn't even give her the time to reject. When the both of them arrived at the Night Palace, he asked, "What is he doing at your home?" Mu Qian said, "Nothing special. We just played against each other and exchanged blows till morning's up, that's all. Come with me. I'll help you practice," Juyi said. Mu Qian froze. She quickly said, "Juyi, aren't you mistaken? You want to spar with me? Are you sure you won't abuse me?" "I won't use any spiritual power. Besides, I see no difference even if you use your spiritual power or not." Mu Qian's mouth twitched. Juyi grabbed Mu Qian's hand. "You can't refuse." Mu Qian nodded. "I won't. In fact, I know having a stronger opponent can bring out a lot of my potential. But please remember to show some mercy. You're the woman I am protecting. I definitely won't hurt you." Juyi assured Mu Qian. "Tian." They are still holding hands, lol. The next day, Juyi took Mu Qian to practice. The strength of Juyi was truly outrageous, even if he did not use any spiritual power to fight with her. He never gave Mu Qian a chance to strike him at all. Added with the fact that he deliberately suppresses his strength to minimum, and also made his speed in the slowest. At this time, Mu Qian was very clear.